The 12th Level Intellects podcast is hosted by the Watchtower Database. Visit watchtowerdatabase.com for more podcast episodes, videos, comics, artwork, and pretty much anything DC Animated Universe you can think of.
Only a 12th level intellect has the slightest hope of surviving what you are about to experience.
Pop it all. Yeah, I'm on the one too. I didn't pop it all my Justice League Dark recordings, and I'm doing it the exact same way today.
Okay,
right.
You better.
All right.
Okay.
You got one final.
I'm recording. You
3,
guys
2,
record.
1, clap.
Perfect. As
You caught
usual. Mattie, bring us into the podcast, would you?
God, who do you guys want me to tell you a story about?
Your
tell us-
best friend, Dallas.
Or one of our Patreons.
Yeah. Sing all the
God.
Patreon names.
Dark Poet 69.
Hold on. Do we have all the Patreon names somewhere? I'll sing them.
Yeah, do that at the end. That's
That's a good
You can
outro.
just check the latest vanishing point or something. Hey everybody.
You said that one guy left this morning.
Oh, you're right.
Let me tell you a story about the guy that left.
Oh, you should do a song
I
about
don't
all the
know his
people
name,
cast in the
but
Batman.
I think it was
Yeah.
Jeff, and he's moving
It was Chris. His name was Chris.
to the
His name was Chris.
great beyond.
All right, shut up.
His name was Chris. And he'll keep trucking on.
I think his name was
Trucking
Jeff,
on.
but his name was Chris.
You said what?
I think his name was Jeff, but his name was Chris.
That's
Hey,
okay.
everybody. Welcome to the 12th Level Intellects podcast. I'm James. And
I'm
Hey,
Ted.
how'd
new
you do it
people.
this time?
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
You did it.
That's Ted and Maddie. You know who
Hey
they
there.
are.
Yeah, I figured it's the last one for
They
now,
know.
so we gotta follow protocol.
Yes.
For now.
For now, we're about to just tear all the walls down, throw out all the windows. I
Go-
don't even have our notes.
Go into the great beyond.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for those
Keep trucking on.
not in the
That was
know.
like the 7th verse of that song.
Yeah,
Ted,
Ted,
you
you got
came
here
in
late,
like after the
yeah.
first 4.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He did you and me and Archer and Penny and someone else. I don't know.
My worst enemy, Teddy.
Oh yeah, Teddy did.
I heard
Yeah.
about Tadid. I've heard.
Anyway, this is gonna be the last of these for a good chunk of time. We're revamping how we do this. It'll be better. It'll be cooler. It'll be more organized, and you'll like it. And that's all I have to say. We'll talk a little more about some of the stuff that's gonna be happening, hopefully. But
Not gone forever.
yeah.
We'll be back. Revamped.
And in case
Gotta-
anyone is
We're
curious,
gone, but not forgot Ted.
Yes. In case anyone's curious why, it really doesn't have anything to do with.
I wanna know why.
We really enjoy talking over each other for 2 hours while you listen to it, but YouTube doesn't like it too much, especially when.
What did YouTube say?
Well, yeah, they contacted us directly and they were like,
Susan Wojcicki contacted me and said Mike Wazowski.
"Yeah,
Is that the YouTube owner, Mike Wazowski?
yes."
Susan Wojcicki.
Billy Crystal?
But yeah, Billy Crystal owns YouTube, and he was like, "You got to stop doing 2-hour videos that only like 300 people watch. It's ruining your algorithmic chances of survival on the internet." So
Hey, I feel like Ted may be able to answer this question more than you.
I
But,
can.
Have
Yes.
Well, no. Have either of you ever hung out with those people who like mess around with crystals and stuff? Not like the crystal burgers. But
you mean
like
like
the-
in Napoleon Dynamite, where you got to put in the crystals? That's what you're talking
the
about.
like the energy
I mean, Ted is
crystals and
showing
stuff.
us crystals right now.
Oh, okay. So Ted messes with this stuff.
He has them. So I
No,
think
I've
it's
never
safe
hung
to
out with
say.
anyone with the crystals and stuff.
Well, then.
I've never heard of them.
Okay, so you're actually on that whole thing. Then I can't. I'm not gonna tell my story now because it is rude.
No,
Check
the
out my
wavelengths.
fluorite over here. Isn't that cool? That's some,
Is that keeping you
here's-
healthy?
Here's a moonstone. Hey,
So what
here's an
what do
emerald I
these
got
do?
right after Emerald City Comic Con.
Yeah.
What do these do? What is the point of them?
Well, when I hold up, you can hear all the crystals falling around my desk. When I hold my quartz like this, pointed in different directions in the palm of my hand, I feel the energy course through my body, and it recharges my. It resyncs my chakras and my.
All right, so Mattie, can you start us on the news?
Just saying words.
Okay. So I was hanging out with this girl who was like into crystals at one point, and like she wanted us to go out to the. She wanted us to go out to the beach so she could recharge them during like the eclipse or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it. She wasn't actually like my friend. She was a friend of a friend, and I got invited through that somehow. And the beach had a lemonade stand, but it was like 8 o'clock at night, so the lemonade stand was closed. But the lemons were, for some reason, still accessible. So I grabbed a couple lemons and just put them down there with her crystals to recharge those as well.
The lemons were all nice and charged up, yeah.
I do clean my crystals. You gotta give them a little bath every now and then, wash out
Your
the bad
family
energy.
jewels.
And then you hold the crystal over some burning white sage and just bathe it in the sage smoke. I'll tell you about one crystal.
I'll have to tell Sissy about this stuff.
This is how Ted maintains his level intelligence.
I have this crystal ball here on my desk. This is made of jet. It is pure black jet.
The band?
Damn.
Yes, Jet the band. this
is all the members of Jet melted
Ted,
down.
look what you've done. You've made a fool of everyone.
It's from a jet airplane. That's not true.
Wow.
But it's supposed to disguise me. So people who might want to target me with negative energy, send it my way, they can't find me. Because this ball of jet makes me anonymous.
It's a good thing we've waited till the last
This is why Dallas
episode.
stopped emailing you.
Wait,
It's a good thing we've waited till the last episode of the podcast to...
now everyone's like, oh, yeah, good thing Ted's never going to be on a podcast again.
Goodbye.
Anyway.
This crazy crystal
Anyway.
guy.
It's been a long time since the last time we've done this, and in that time there's been a lot of news. I feel like we gotta start out the gate with the biggest stuff. The Batman is a movie that's happening. We've already talked about Robert
2004 TV animated series The Batman, starring
that one.
Guy who
No,
played
it
Batman.
is that one.
Oh man,
It's the live action version of that one.
Oh yeah.
So
Matthew Reeves.
We've already talked about Robert Pattinson's in the movie.
Yes.
But since the last time we spoke, Jonah Hill is out. But we have Paul Dano as Riddler, Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, and then Colin Farrell is in talks for the Penguin, Andy Serkis is in talks for Alfred, and Matthew McConaughey may be in talks for Harvey Dent.
All right.
That one seems to be a little bit more contested.
Do you think he's only going to say "all right" 2 times in this movie?
Oh yeah, all right.
He says it all right, like that.
Either
Maybe
way,
it's all wrong.
Whoa!
Matthew McConaughey is suggested to be more of a rumor than anything because apparently it originally came from We Got This Covered. The Daily Mail was reporting it as well, and like that's an outlet that's like 120 years old, but apparently they're still kind of shady as well.
Yeah.
From what I've found out through a different podcast that I was listening to today that was unrelated to Batman news. So maybe it's not too
Yeah, I don't think we talked about
concrete.
Zoe Kravitz even. That was a little.
Yeah, I just
before
mentioned her.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, I don't think we talked about it last episode.
We didn't. That's why I put it on.
Okay, well, she's
Did you know Zoe Kravitz is Jason Momoa's.
That's what I was. Yes, I do.
Were you about to say that?
Yeah, I think
Well,
it's a
you didn't.
stepdaughter.
I said it first.
Dude, I can't wait for the Aquaman
stepdaughter, you're
Catwoman
right.
crossover movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be fun.
which should have to be like a multiverse movie.
I mean, hopefully it's set in the multiverse where Shazam is rated R.
Right, that's all we can hope
Wonder
for.
Woman 84 might retcon Wonder Woman's stuff from Batman v Superman. That's just what I heard.
That would be fine.
It could be. We'll see.
Her really great role as basically Catwoman, and then oh,
What's going on with your microphone, dude?
yeah, hang on.
James, did you not troubleshoot your microphone before we
Shut up.
James, it was the first thing on the list.
Shut up!
James!
Well, while he's gone,
Let me tell you a story about my friend named James.
his name
I
is
punched
James.
him in the neck and
Oh my
he's
God.
in a lot of pain and now he's moving
To the great
to the
beyond.
great beyond.
God damn. Okay.
50 years in the future.
I was
Now,
I was
whenever
trying to
now
hit
is.
the do not disturb button and I turned off Bluetooth
Yeah,
and I ruined
he's
everything.
trucking
You're disturbing
So,
everyone listening
anyway.
to the podcast.
Yeah, they got to hear you like 3 different times. So anyway,
That's fine.
Do y'all like this cast for the Batman?
I think
You
so,
happy
yeah.
with it? I think so too. I don't really have a problem with it.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Here we go.
Troubleshoot your ukulele.
I didn't. That's all right. I'm really interested in this cast. I feel like we haven't gotten like an A-list cast like this since like the 90s Batmans.
Sure, yeah.
Like I mean, Christian Bale is a big name now, but was he as big of a name before he was Batman? I don't
Kind
think
of,
so.
but I mean, all of the people in the Dark Knight stuff, Liam Neeson, Heath Ledger, etc. Like they were known prior to those movies. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like they're not like Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones, Jack Nicholson kind of people.
Exactly.
I don't know if I would count like Jeffrey Wright or Paul Dano as that level, but definitely like Andy Serkis, Matthew McConaughey, Colin Farrell. Like everybody knows who those people are. I don't know if Andy Serkis, like, I feel like Andy Serkis is maybe the one to, by the time that people are listening to this, is, like, unconfirmed or something, but then maybe you'll take this soundbite and he's definitely been confirmed, and I'm just talking out my ass, but I don't know. Like, that's the only one that's kind of weird to me, but...
I saw a tweet today where someone said like was writing a bit for the Batman script, and it said Bruce pulls out a ring and says, "Alfred, I'm going to propose to Selena." Alfred grabs the ring and says, "My precious."
Yeah. And then he dives into lava after it. Well,
I'm gonna set that down because I'm still.
Yeah,
like,
you're
a
gonna
little-
keep diddling around with it.
Yeah.
Patty Jenkins confirms Pedro Pascal to play supervillain Maxwell Lord. We knew that he was probably going to be Maxwell Lord, but I guess it wasn't confirmed until like a few days ago.
Yeah. So also there's been a little bit of controversy about that because apparently when J.M. DeMatteis created Maxwell Lord for the comics, he wasn't intended to be a villain at all.
Right.
And so there's like a little bit of discontent there, but at the same time, like J.M. has been like, look, this is the way of comics. You're adding your characters to someone else's sandbox, and someone else will grab those characters and do something else with them later on.
And I like Maxwell Lord as a villain. He was like, I mean, Wonder Woman ends up killing Max in the comics, like breaks his neck, and she like went through a whole trial for like a year of comics after that, and it was a pretty cool story.
Maxwell Lord in DCAU was an ultimatum, right? He's the
the manager type guy,
Okay.
and that kind of was his role in Justice League International when J.M. DeMatteis created him.
Yeah.
So
He's when Bob Kane and Bill Finger made Batman in 1939, they didn't intend for him to not use guns and kill people. What the hell have they done to Batman?
What have they done to Batman?
Wonder Woman 84.
I'm excited for Maxwell Lord.
Yeah, I'm excited
cool.
for the movie in general. It was supposed
Yeah.
to. I'm pretty sure.
You know why he played a similar role in JLU?
Why?
Because the teleplay for that episode was by J.M. DeMatteis.
Oh my god!
Would you look at that?
With story by Dwayne McDuffie.
Oh my god!
Well, hey there.
Wonder Woman 84 was supposed to come out this year sometime originally, I'm pretty sure, and then it got shifted to 2020 because of some kind of synergy with
With this Shazam.
yeah.
Jeff Johns is writing the script for Wonder Woman 84, so maybe Doomsday Clock made it delayed.
Just like everything else.
Oh, that would make sense.
I mean, I'm kind of joking, but it could be the other way around.
But honestly,
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, next thing. Titans and Lucifer reported to be joining Crisis on Infinite Earths.
I heard Lucifer was not, like, that was an unfounded rumor. The guy who plays Lucifer, he might just be playing it cool, though.
That's a
For all
DC,
we know.
is that a DC property, like a comic
Yeah, spin-off from
Okay.
Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
Okay.
Yeah, so essentially, that came from, there was a Twitter account by an autograph hound in Canada who's been, like, kind of stalking the set, and someone on set was rude to him, so he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna leak this.
Well, I mean, it would be kind of cool. I feel like we've gotten such detailed reports of so many different people that are going to be a part of this that, like, at this point, it's kind of like anyone else that they add, I'm sure half the people that have already been added will probably be like, hello for 2 seconds, and they're out, like, just to have them on there.
Or, like, the Titans could be, like, a digital cameo, like, from something they got, like, somewhere else.
Yeah, so the Titans cameo, from what I understand, that was also leaked through a YouTuber who has leaked stuff before that's been shown to be true. But apparently he got, like, a shot of one of the scripts, and it was just like, God, it's been like a month since I watched this video.
There's stuff
it was like they're in the Titans Tower, and they turn to look out the window as something passes by or something along those lines. So it might just be like a...
I saw an interview with the guy who
half-a-second
plays
thing.
Lucifer, who was asked about being in Crisis, and the actor, I forget his name, but he basically said, like, oh, you go up to Vancouver for a friend's birthday for a weekend, and all of a sudden people think you're in the Crisis show.
If
So
you're
that was
near the filming,
yeah. That's like what he said, but he
But
could
maybe
be lying.
he's saying
He's
that,
Lucifer.
he said that as to change your opinions. It kind of reminds me of when Michael Shannon was talking about, like, being Doomsday, and he's like, I couldn't get into the bathroom, I had flippers on my hands and all this stuff, but, like, he wasn't like, that was not true. Like,
Right.
Doomsday was in the movie, but he was not playing him whatsoever. But I don't know. What's this Harley Quinn and the Gotham Girls? I don't know. This is the comic releases.
So in January, was it January or February? I'm pretty sure it was January. We are getting a trade collection of the Gotham Girls tie-in comic. It's a 5-issue series by Paul Story. That's really good. It gives...
Shane Glines did the art, is that right?
Yeah.
Shane Glines did the covers, but
cover.
not
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah,
of the
yeah.
art. Yeah. But it gives a lot of backstory to Renee Montoya, Poison Ivy, and all of them. And it's a really fun story. People have been pushing for it to get a trade release for years now.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that happening, because I wouldn't have thought that would ever come out.
Yeah, getting this, it seems like they're committed to actually putting out all of the DCAU stuff in trades. Although, like, it makes, like, I wonder if we'll ever see that that allergy medication one in a trade or not. Like, they could...
That's my favorite.
They could definitely end up doing an odds and ends at one point, but who knows? We're also getting, same month, we're getting a reprint of Batman Adventures number 12 as part of DC's current Dollar Comics line. That's the issue that introduced Harley Quinn to comic books altogether. So getting any, like, single issue version of it has been terribly hard, depending on even if it was a more recent reprint with a variant skin. I feel like this one will not be as hard because it will be, widely distributed.
And it has, like, the new
it
DC
will...
logo on it. It has a bunch of other, like, promotional looking things on the cover. I'm definitely okay with having that version, mostly just because it's, like, impossible to get a physical copy of the original or a reprint of the original.
It's like $400,
Yeah.
and then, like, most of the reprints are, like, con exclusive variants that still run like $150. Like, I'm definitely fine with, for the time being, this filling the hole in my long box.
Right, exactly.
That's
and
fair.
And that's the Batgirl Halloween party one.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Which we've debated whether that's, like, the actual Batgirl costume or not.
I'm pretty sure that it's something that happened. As far as the context goes, it seems like it's something that would have had to have happened before Shadow of the Bat.
She just throws it away.
Seems, Yeah, it seems like it's kind of just like a Batman costume manufactured for girls is my reading of it.
They put a hole in the back of the head so you can put your hair out, just like the real Batman.
And now it's dead, but it keeps moving.
Teen Titans Complete Series coming to Blu-ray from Warner Archive. That's exciting. It's not very new. There's not new artwork for it. It's kind of like when they released Zeta and Static, where they're just like, fuck it, just here it is. You want it? Here, and you can finally have it. Here it is. But it's cool to have it because the DC Universe uploads of the episodes are all in HD, and which is always like it's better than you could get on the DVDs and stuff. So it's nice that they're finally like, oh, you can actually own those if you'd like instead of not.
So here's my thing with it though, is like people keep being like, oh, like is this what we need to do to get Teen Titans season 6? Like, do we need to buy Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans? Oh shoot, now that Teen Titans is coming to Blu-ray, do we need to get that to get season 6? And like
the answer is yes and no.
the way that I'm seeing this is we just got the Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond Blu-ray box sets. Like they did like full on limited edition, like here's this, all the bells and whistles through just Warner Brothers home video, like proper. Whereas this Teen Titans Complete Series Blu-ray is just coming in a plastic clamshell with made on demand discs.
Yeah, it is kind of
through Warner Archive, and like it just kind of goes to show that like this isn't a priority that Warner has at all. Mm-hmm. They don't care, or they would have, done the same thing they just did with the other two shows.
Yeah, I mean, but even with those, like putting BTAS out on Blu-ray and then having 1,000 people buy it is not going to necessarily tell Warner Brothers like you should make more Batman the Animated Series. It just means that people liked that thing that already exists. So buying Teen Titans on Blu-ray is also not going to necessarily. I'm not trying to be negative about it, but it's not like there's no telltale.
The reason why I think people would think that it would is because that's what Bruce Timm and company always tells people. Like, if you want more of this thing, you should buy the things.
I think they always say that so that you'll buy the things.
Well, yeah,
because they want money.
But it's also like money is what
now.
Speaks to the executives. So if it doesn't sell,
it's not necessarily going to do it, but it's not going to hurt, I guess. Yeah, so.
It's not correlated.
I mean, so the way I'm seeing it is like Warner Archives is like how they finally released Zeta and Static on DVD. You know?
Yeah.
It's like where it's kind of like where things go to die. Warner, it feels like to me. So it's just like I don't know, man. This isn't a good sign for season 6.
Yeah, I mean, Teen Titans feels like a show that, like, I guess, it had like a sort of cliffhanger ending, like, or an unexplained ending, but not in a big, like, stay tuned for next week when we reveal how this thing, and then they never did it. It was just like what? I don't like that ending. You should make more so that I like the ending better. And then, but no matter what, like, they'd have to get the exact people back for everybody to. No one is gonna like. It just bothers me that like stuff like Fatal 5 movie is essentially a continuation of Justice League Unlimited, but there's so many people that won't accept it as a continuation or like don't like it because it's so far removed from the original thing. It could be exactly as good. It could have Dwayne McDuffie and Paul Dini and everybody attached to it, and it would just have people would be like, "Duh, it's bad." So it doesn't matter. People are stupid.
It's just online like troll culture. And
I guess
it's like what Phil Lamar. It's what Phil Lamar told us, man. Is everybody just wants the thing S? They already know.
You can't change the S. How dare you? Yeah. Okay, let's move on. HBO Max. Tell me about
a thing. That's a thing happening.
It is
new
a
subscription service. It's HBO, and it's basically like Warner Brothers' answer to Disney Plus.
Except it's a very bad answer.
It's a more expensive answer. It's 3 times more expensive than Disney Plus. $14.99.
Well, yeah. So HBO Max is $14.99 a month, And like they're not killing the other HBO platforms.
Right.
Yeah, there's two other
they still have
HBO streaming
Go,
services.
and
Yeah,
they still have
HBO Now
HBO
and
Now.
HBO Go, which I don't even understand the difference of that right now.
And then on top of that, like WB still has other streaming platforms as well, like DC Universe.
So
it's just
wasn't
like-
Tim Talk just talking about the differences between the HBO stuff?
Yeah, if you guys want to break down on that,
Yeah.
go check out the Tim Talk podcast. They
I don't
were
wanna
just
butcher
talking
it,
about
yeah.
it. What was it? I think this week's. Well, I don't know when this is coming out.
Yeah, the shock to the system.
Their first
No.
Static Shock.
Yes. Yeah,
episode.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of break down what the difference is between them all.
Okay.
So if you want to know about that, you can head on over to our good friends at Tim Talk Pod.
Cross
the
promotion.
podcast, the podcast that's usually about the DCAU,
Yeah.
co-created by Bruce Timm. I'm Cameron Lord, and I'm Chris Dexter.
I'm Chris Dexter. I'm Ted Washburn.
I'm Static Shock.
The person, Static
yeah, so-
Shock.
Yes.
So,
That's
but
his
the
name.
reason that HBO Max is relative to what we talk about on this podcast is because it's been announced that all live-action DC films from the last decade will be available within the first year. Not at launch, but within the first year.
Oh.
Including every Batman and Superman movie from the last 40 years. And the 2019 cult classic, Joker. Doom
Highest
That's a
grossing R-rated movie
masterpiece.
of all time.
Doom Patrol Season 2 is going to be over there as well. It will still be on DC Universe, but it will now also be on HBO Max.
Why
They are
both?
getting a... Right? It feels like, why am I paying for DC Universe right now? Like, the only thing
Yeah.
it seems that it's going to have that HBO Max won't have is the comics.
Is the Harley Quinn animated series only DC Universe?
Yeah.
Probably.
I think so.
In Stargirl, in Young Justice, season
yeah,
4.
but
Yeah.
they've got to merge them together.
It's
there's no way
very unorganized. And the
It's
the app
because
is really
of
terrible.
AT&T's purchase. Once AT&T came in and swooped up DC and Warner Brothers, it's all just been chaotic. That's at least what the rumors are saying. Just
I
a lot of
wouldn't doubt it.
uncertainty.
I wouldn't doubt it, which is kind of upsetting because, they've got a lot of good properties, but this is what happens in a corporatocracy. But anyway, we are also getting new shows like a DC Superhero High, which is a teen comedy series produced by Elizabeth Banks.
Yes.
And Greg Berlanti is bringing Green Lantern and Strange Adventures series to the platform as well.
Nice.
Strange
I'm excited for those.
Adventures is not Adam Strange or
Could be.
Dr. Hugo Strange.
It could
But
be
it's
Adam
just
Strange.
a bunch of weird stuff, I think. A bunch of, obscure
It probably is
characters.
Adam Strange.
I've got to...
Because
Well, that's possible. He's pretty
I think
obscure.
there was a I think there was actually
there was a description about Adam Strange for the show. There were 2 descriptions.
let's see if I can
Slightly
find it
different.
real quick. You guys keep talking.
The
Okay.
upcoming Tom King series, Strange Adventures, is all about Adam Strange.
Oh, wow.
So,
So the Green Lantern
Strange
show.
Adventures. Strange Adventures is a DC superhero anthology series executive produced by Greg Berlanti and will feature characters from across the DC canon. This 1-hour drama series will explore close-ended morality tales about the intersecting lives of mortals and superhumans. Strange Adventures is based on the characters from DC, and it's produced by Berlanti Productions in association with Warner Brothers Television, Berlanti Series. So it's an anthology series. It sounds like
Okay.
it might be their DC answer to Black Mirror.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
The Green Lantern thing intrigues me because Greg Berlanti has kind of he's left Green Lantern Easter eggs throughout the Arrowverse shows for years and years. There was a Hal Jordan cameo in a bar
Right.
in Arrow season 2 or 3 or something. And there's all these rumors all the time that John Diggle's going to be Green Lantern, maybe in the Crisis crossover. Diggle's actually my dad's name, or something like that.
Maybe
I'm
we
actually
see that
John
from
Stewart.
a parallel world or something.
Yeah. But so it's interesting that that's happening because it seems like maybe that's overwriting the Green Lantern Corps movie. that was set to happen because DC doesn't know what they're doing, and there's all these different things, all these different movies that have been announced over the years, including Green Lantern Corps,
R-rated Shazam.
Yeah, Green Lantern made an appearance in Justice League.
I wonder, though. I think that's why J.J. Abrams and James Gunn just signed an exclusive contract with WB.
That's possible.
And, like, I'm pretty sure they're gearing up for Green Lantern Corps,
so that they can be a movie and a TV series at the same time.
I would think
That'll be great, and we'll get
again. Jeff Johns is writing the Green Lantern Corps movie, and he has publicly said it's based off his run of the comics. So we'll probably see like the Emerald Spectrum, or not Emerald, but the color spectrum.
So we'll get a green embargo at some point when they overlap, and we won't be able to use most Green Lantern characters on the TV show about Green Lanterns.
Well, I don't think there will be any embargoes. They seem to be like done with embargoes now. They kind of realize like the audience is smart enough to understand like characters going from across different platforms and shows.
That's why we've got the multiverse happening, the Crisis on Infinite Earths.
That's right.
Maddie, what's Adventure Time Distant Lands?
Yeah, so we're also getting more stuff on HBO Max that's not just DC. I probably could have gotten a pretty big list. People were sharing it in our Discord the other day. But the one that really stuck out to me was Adventure Time Distant Lands.
Is it a movie?
No, from what I read, I think it's like 4 long episodes of Adventure Time, like new episodes. I might be a little bit off on the details. Once again, I didn't prep very much other than making all of these notes, and I should have made better notes.
We've had several weeks to get ready.
Right.
Anyway.
But yeah, I was a huge Adventure Time fan. I still haven't finished the series because I lost cable at a point in my life and just never caught up. It was around the time Arrow Season 2 happened, and that's why I'm not caught up on any of the CW stuff either.
My wife was watching Adventure Time. She got all the way through it. I caught a few episodes near the end, and it seems like it's like a legitimately well-written show, which I didn't expect.
I've seen random episodes.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I like, even as someone who like fell off, I think around season 4 or 5, and still has a couple seasons to pick back up on. I watched the ending of the last episode, and it was so full of stuff that like I connected with, that was like somewhere hidden in the very back of my head, and it hasn't been brought out for years. And I started crying, and I was just like, I don't know why I'm crying.
Yeah,
I know
it was
who
really
these characters
emotional.
are, but I don't remember who they are.
Yeah, I didn't know who anyone was, and I still felt kind of similar to that. Yeah.
Can you play the theme song on the ukulele, Mattie? Adventure Time.
Come on, grab your friends.
Jake the dog and Finn the human.
Me.
Maddie's going to the great beyond. Yeah, that's the credits.
That's close. It's really close.
Yeah, we get it, Maddie. You're good at music, okay? The Studio Ghibli films will be on HBO Max, all of them. And tell us about the meme.
It's usually gin and like lime juice, isn't it? Giblet.
Can you shut up, Ted? Can you leave?
So I was going through Reddit earlier to go over the last month's worth of news and make sure we don't miss stuff for the podcast, and we probably still will.
Yeah.
But
there's too much news out there.
Yeah, so there was one story 21 days ago. It said Ghibli is so devoted to the theater experience that they have announced they will never have their movies available for streaming. And then 20 days ago,
1 day later,
1 day later, we get news that all 21 Ghibli movies are going to HBO Max for streaming. So.
That means it probably wasn't the studio's choice. It was Warner Brothers' choice.
Probably, but that was kind of sending me because of the fucking days different. But no, That one particularly is weird to me because from what I understand, in the States, Disney has distribution rights to the
I
Ghibli
think
movies.
they lost
that's what I
those
was
like
thinking.
a year or two ago. I was looking into that. It like expired, and so that's why they're able to do this. But
Okay.
yeah,
Huh. Okay.
Well, speaking of Disney, should we move to the Marvel news?
yes.
Okay.
Tell us, Ted, what's first?
Ant-Man 3 is moving forward with
Yeah,
director
it's
Peyton Reed.
unexpected. Yeah,
Did Peyton Reed do the other two? I don't remember.
yeah, I think so.
Cool. I mean, is it unexpected? That seems like...
I mean, I
Well,
guess
Well, it wasn't.
There's-
I don't think it was. I
it
don't
wasn't
think
announced.
it was along. I don't think it was along all the other like Marvel
Right,
movies
right.
yeah.
that were.
Well,
I mean there was
Cool.
3
X-Men,
Iron Man
yeah.
movies, 3 Captain America movies, 3 Thor movies,
4 Thor movies now with Love and Thunder.
Right.
They
I just
should
mean
just call
yeah.
it the four.
The 4. The 4.
Four.
Four.
It'll have a 4 where the T is.
Speaking of Thor 4, they
The four.
Taika Waititi has finished the
Taika-
script.
Tawiti.
Yes, Whiteout Taikiti.
Isn't Tafiti? Is that the Moana thing? Oh well, okay, keep going.
So
Are you guys talking about
The
Ryan
script's
Reynolds'
done.
friend from Green Lantern?
Yeah,
no,
they weren't in that movie
Actually,
together.
yes.
yeah,
They
that's
never met each
true.
other. Yeah, Korg back. Obviously, if Taika Waititi's there, he's gonna do that. And what's this? Thor's weight is in talks with Marvel. Was that
Oh, like Fat Thor from
Yeah, they're like-
whether he'll
Endgame.
be fat?
Yeah, and so that's all that I saw on that bit.
Okay.
And I'm wondering which side of the aisle wants him to remain fat and which one doesn't.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, I'm pretty sure Thor's gonna turn into Natalie Portman anyway.
Yeah, he
Natalie
says the
Portman.
magic words, Portmanus Titanus, and then he turns into Natalie Portman. That's how Odin's magic works. We're describing
Sure.
the confirmed plot of Thor 4.
Also, an upcoming Marvel news. The Eternal set was evacuated yesterday, so the day before we're recording, on November 5th, after an not undefeated. What was that?
I don't know.
Undetonated. An undetonated bomb.
This bomb
was
cannot be
discovered on
stopped.
set. Apparently,
I hope the
apparently-
Eternals doesn't bomb.
Apparently,
Oh,
from what I didn't read the whole I didn't read the whole article, but
was this a real bomb or was
apparently-
this one of those like
No,
there's a
it was a
backpack we
real
don't
bomb.
know where it came
Apparently,
from?
where they were
Some
where
days
they
you just
were
can't get rid of a bomb.
where they were filming, I think was like on top of like an old Nazi war site or something like that.
Oh, so
yeah.
they just found like a claymore that was left
There was-
over or something.
There
This
was
sounds like
reported-
Ike Perlmutter's doing.
There was there. There
Yeah,
was
like you can't do this. Get out of here.
There was reportedly an abandoned Nazi base on that island, which could explain the bomb.
Hail Hydra.
So that's a thing.
Okay,
Well,
so
hopefully
anyway,
everyone's
alright.
in the Infinity
no
Saga
one
box
got
set.
hurt.
This is all of the movies, all the Marvel movies leading up through Endgame, I would assume.
Yes.
And it has beautiful box art that you showed us earlier. Yeah, set for $549.99.
I'm so upset about that.
That's expensive.
Because
I'd rather
I've-
get blown
Start
up
saving
by
up your
bomb.
Patreon money, boys.
That's right.
So I've personally been waiting to buy all of the Marvel movies until there was a box set like this. I have the box set for Phase 1 that's like in Coulson's briefcase that they carried the Tesseract in. And
Yeah.
that was cool as shit. And then I was gonna get the Phase 2 box set, which is in like a thing that's shaped like the power orb from
that's cool.
from Guardians of the Galaxy. But then I was like, you know what? They will probably
Yeah.
one day do a box set
full
for all
thing.
of this. And like, I love my collectibles, but I also like to save space. So I was just like, I'll just
How
wait
big
it out.
is this box, do you think? Like, do you think there's full-size Blu-rays in there, like Blu-ray cases? Or do you think they're just in this
No,
loose disc thing, like the Batman Beyond Blu-ray?
No, so what I was seeing, they have a whole press thing up. I don't know if you opened up my Phase 1 box set whenever you were here, but inside of it, all of the discs are in like their own cardboard CD case sized sleeve, and so they're doing that inside of this. But it's got all 23 films plus an exclusive bonus disc.
I did the math, and that ends up being like $23 or $24 a movie
per movie. So it's not even like a good deal, really.
Not,
like I mean,
not
I guess.
really.
Well, so they're also, from what I understand, they're all 4K. So it's you save like $25 altogether.
I mean, you save more than that if they're all 4K, because the 4K goes for like $39.99 or something usually. So I guess it's all about almost half. I don't know. I'm sending you all the names of the patrons. I did it wrong a second ago. This is the actual current thing, so that you can sing them later. Anyway,
I gotcha. My phone's at 8%, and I'm not running out the room today, but that's fine.
Well, I will try to buy that eventually. Maybe I'll get like a knockoff eBay or like a cheap eBay version like a decade from now. I'm trying to think of the ones that I already own. I think I have Guardians of the Galaxy and then the latest 2 Avengers movies. The rest have all been like, I don't necessarily need to own that. I will stream it somewhere. But,
hey, put the codes into the Voodoo.
That's true. I should do that.
Do it with all your movies. I've been supplying you guys with a library.
Yeah, we didn't ask you to put half those in there. They just appeared.
We have Norm of the North.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was looking forward to seeing
We don't have
them.
Arctic dogs yet.
No, not yet. We'll get
Not
to
yet.
that.
We'll talk
Yeah.
we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, we still got some more Marvel news.
She-Hulk's happening with Liv Tyler.
Well, she's rumored to be back. I don't think she's confirmed.
She wouldn't be She-Hulk though. That's a totally different character.
She would
like
just
Liv
be
Tyler
herself.
was the daughter of General Ross.
Yeah,
who
she would
I
just
think
play
is confirmed to
Liv
come
Tyler.
back.
She plays actress Liv Tyler in the She-Hulk series.
Oh, okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Most people dislike the Incredible Hulk, I feel like, but I'm a huge Ed Norton fan. So
I did wonder when we were doing the horror movie Vanishing Point. You said that the Avengers was the 5th movie to come out, but someone pointed out it's actually the 6th movie. So I'm trying to figure out which one you forgot, and it's definitely it's not going to be Edward Norton. So there's Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2,
Hulk,
Thor,
Iron Man 2.
Captain America, and then Avengers.
I just wrote the wrong
That's it.
number.
You got him.
Yeah.
James.
Yeah, I know.
just wrote the wrong number. I the one I forgot was Avengers.
Oh yeah, okay. That makes sense.
I didn't remember to do that in my count, but that's fine. Yeah, so she's rumored to be back in She-Hulk, which once again goes back to strengthen the connections that like Marvel's not retconning shit.
It'd be kind of
At
interesting
all.
to see her interacting with what's his face, not Edward Norton.
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, like as if he was Edward Norton, when
Yeah.
he's definitely not. I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
I always
guess we
felt
don't
like
know
they
if
did her
he's gonna be
dirty,
in
so like I'm
Sure.
100% down
Yeah,
to.
Edward Norton wanted to do like a dark take on the Hulk, and they wouldn't let him really do his thing. But it's because they were trying to.
We
like,
need an
establish,
R-rated Hulk.
They were trying to get their Marvel flavor, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I you gotta trust Norton though. He's come on, fight Club, American
He's
History X.
antivirus. Yeah. Yeah, we skipped Kevin Feige thing. He's now overseeing like not just the movies but TV and just everything. I think like every media, every piece of Marvel media, which makes sense for
brain
them
cohesion.
to do. Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
makes sense for them to do it with. They were. I'm sure they were getting flack for the Marvel TV people being like, no, it's not. Daredevil is not in the thing. It's not connected and all that stuff. So the whole cohesive, organized. No one has, which I guess is good for branding, but it also sort of makes me wonder if it's good or bad for like broadening like different like when what am I trying to say? Like when Ant-Man was going to be directed by
Edgar Wright.
yeah,
Right,
and then they're
right.
like, no, it has to be the brand, and you're not working.
Yeah,
It's not working.
I'm of two minds of that, because I feel like with Feige on board, this means we won't get duds like Iron Fist
In
or
Immortals
Inhumans.
or Humans. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Right.
But then at the same time, it makes me feel like we also won't get shows that really take as much risk.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
say Daredevil did,
Or
know,
like
and became
Runaways and
breakout
Cloak
that
and
is.
Dagger, maybe.
New Mutants. We'll never
Run-
see that movie.
Are Runaways and Cloak and Dagger like seen as breakout hits? I don't.
Yeah, Runaways I think has
They
like
are
a good
different.
following, but Cloak and Dagger,
Interesting.
I don't know.
I watched the first season of Runaways and I couldn't get into it at all. Sissy liked it, but we started the second season. It just felt kind of the same as the first one, so we just stopped watching it.
Well,
Sony Spider-Verse 2, April 2022.
nice.
Shriek.
Uh,
That was all we had
I'm
to
a-
say.
I'm a- well,
nice.
I'm gonna be real, man. I watched the first Spider-Verse on a plane, over the summer, and it's a good movie, but
It's
I
a
mean,
great movie.
I don't see that, man.
It's a great movie.
Maddie's wrong, everybody.
It's I mean,
It's a good movie, but I just
characters are really funny. It's got a lot of great Easter eggs.
I guess
The
I
animation's
disagree that
top-notch.
people. There are people that say it's the best Spider-Man movie, which I do not agree with. But
yeah.
I
See,
do
that's
like
that's
it a
what I'm
lot.
getting at. Is like, I like the movie. I don't think that it's like lives up to the overhyped nature of it.
Sure.
I read a
It's-
quote from Kevin Feige the other day who said that he had the power to cross cinematic universes and potentially do a live action
Yeah.
Spider-Man multiverse movie with Tobey
But he
Maguire and
didn't.
Andrew Garfield.
Oh, so that kind of plays into
Oh,
our
like
next.
currently has the power to do this.
Yeah, like if they wanted to. Yeah, with Sony too.
Yeah, so this plays into our next piece of news. That Shriek is being added to Venom 2 along with Carnage.
So is this a
the
Spider-Man
director-
character I'm not familiar with? Because Shriek is also a Batman Beyond villain.
Isn't Shriek in this like more of a mercenary? Is he a vampire? Am I wrong? Why
No,
do I think
Morbius
he's
is the vampire. But
Shriek.
yeah, so either way.
Oh, this is a woman.
No, you're thinking of Madam Web.
No, Shriek character Marvel.
Oh yeah, I see
Woman,
that.
fictional character, super villainous,
Well, I don't know. my
lover of
Spidey.
Cletus Cassidy, who is Carnage. So it makes sense.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Calm down, everyone.
the director confirmed that the series is building to a Spider-Man crossover, which, as Ted just said recently, Feige has said
Yeah.
Spider-Man is the only one with the power to cross cinematic universes. So, I guess I'm wondering if they're going to do where it will still be Tom Holland, but he's not gonna be like referencing either cinematic universe and the other, and no one's gonna be any the wiser.
That would be a good way to
Yeah.
do it, because then he could like plop out of a portal and be like, I'm from a different universe, and he can be the MCU Spider-Man, but he
Or-
doesn't have to be like confusing continuities and
I
stuff.
don't even want portals. I just want him to be the same Spider-Man in that, but like to not reference the
Sure.
MCU at all.
Would
Yeah.
that then be that it is both the
he's a
same
dip-
universe, or is
Yeah.
it that he's just being Peter Parker in multiple universes?
Yeah,
With the
that's the
same
way.
suit.
That's the way I see it. It's
Okay.
it's Peter Parker from multiple universes, and they just look the same.
Well, maybe.
But
Well,
I
leave
don't
it
know.
up for interpretation. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
we'll
Sure.
see. We'll see it. We'll see it when it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I still haven't seen Venom, so why is it not? It's not letting me delete the news we're talking.
Neither
about.
has Ted, but he's heard me describe Venom to him, so he's basically
Venom.
Exactly.
It's got Eminem in
okay. What's
So-
Imaginary Friends? What is this?
Yeah, so we got news that Ryan Reynolds and John Krasinski are working together on a movie called Imaginary Friends. It seems that the premise is like one of the characters is able to see other people's imaginary friends and befriend them. There was
sounds a lot like Happy, the show with the floating blue unicorn.
Blue dude, yeah.
yeah.
Starring Man of Steel Soldier Man.
Patton Oswalt?
No. That's what?
He's the unicorn.
Oh no, I mean the guy.
Okay.
Man of Steel Soldier Patton Oswalt.
Patton Oswalt was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
He was multiple agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, it's about a man who can see and speak to other people's imaginary friends. Paramount's in negotiations to acquire the film, and if the deal goes through, Krasinski will write, direct, and produce.
Wow.
So
Go
Talk
Jim.
about creating jobs.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
what are you talking
That's why
about?
the unemployment rate's so low, because everyone's working 3 jobs.
Everyone's working for imaginary friends.
I thought we were gonna go somewhere else and like talk about how Jack Ryan is propaganda against socialist Venezuela.
We can go.
Is that what you're going to talk about on the Socialist Movie Podcast?
We'll talk about that in a second. We still got some more news. So we've got Clerks 3 is coming.
Nice.
Cool.
Finally, Kevin Smith wrote the script to it a while back and wasn't able to get the movie made, and so he did table readings of the script.
I heard it's because the guy who played Randall ditched a month before production.
Yeah, that's what I understand as well. But he's on board now.
Sure.
And
sounds convincing. Yeah.
apparently, production's moving pretty quickly because we've already got it's confirmed Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance, who was just announced to be reuniting. Yeah, very excited about that. Very excited about that.
Tickets,
but Gerard,
if you want tickets, $1,000.
My friend Nick.
Gerard Way is scoring the.
I've seen Gerard Way in person. He came to the NC Comic Con in 2016. I saw him talk about the Doom Patrol book.
Well, he's scoring Clerks 3, so production's moving on it at the very least.
My friend Nick had a emo phase or whatever in high school, and he had
It's not a phase.
It's a lifestyle, yeah.
It's not a phase, yeah.
It was a phase for him.
Solidarity.
Because he has just a bunch of pictures from his freshman or sophomore year or whatever, black hair and makeup and all that stuff, and he had he was just sharing a bunch of memes.
Young boy.
There's just been a bunch of memes that he's sharing that are the emo thing, that was just a phase. My Chemical Romance announces a new album or whatever, and then it's just immediately back in the outfit.
And they only did it because Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself.
Did you? No. Okay, so I'm not worried about the Epstein thing. I mean, yes, that it's very troublesome. But did you guys see? So apparently, people dug up a tweet from My Chemical Romance back in 2011, saying, "Chile, stay safe in 2019."
Oh.
And we've got all the protests and everything going on in Chile right now, it's just
weird.
I'm
They're prophets.
I'm really confused as to what that was about. And,
I heard also that Gerard Way modeled the band after the career of Smashing Pumpkins, and they also got the band back together after being on hiatus for the exact same amount of time.
Huh.
Hey, I wrote a script about Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, you did.
I wish that stuff wasn't DCAU did well on this channel, so that I could just do that here.
Before we talk about the Star Wars trailers, I did want to bring up there's a movie coming out called Code 8 that stars the Amell brothers, Stephen Amell, who plays Arrow, and Robbie Amell, I think is his name, who was Firestorm. And it's just it's kind of a post-apocalyptic sci-fi looking robots and lasers. I don't know. It looks okay. I think this is the first for realsies movie that Stephen Amell has done, as far as I know. He's made
Code 8.
He was
Code 8. What about
Code 7? Casey Jones. He was Casey Jones in the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you're
That's
right.
True.
You're right. But he wasn't the main character. I don't know. I'm trying to
Casey
justify
Jones
what I
is
said.
the main character of the Ninja Turtles.
No, it's April.
No, it's Casey. April's the porn star.
It's the little rat. The little rat in the robe.
Yeah, that little
Master
rat.
Splinter.
Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because that's a thing that exists. Now we can move on. We're almost done with news. Everybody, don't worry.
We have exciting news coming out of the world of football.
Woo!
Football or football?
Football episode 9 got a trailer. The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
so that's
football.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. I don't know. Did you guys have anything you want to say about it?
I have heard of the Star Wars. I have heard of it.
Yes.
Both of you guys like football more than I do. So
I have enjoyed a Star Wars in the past. I will be looking forward to this Star Wars.
I don't know what
you're
talking about. This is a football conversation.
So I went to the football episode 7 premiere, like midnight premiere. Was super excited about it. I had a really good time. Huh?
I said, was it a touchdown?
Yeah, no, it was at Autzen Stadium. Anyway, so I got like the keychain, I got a T-shirt, I got all sorts. It was a great night. I had a lot of fun watching the movie. Episode 8 of football, I enjoyed it. Not a lot of people did.
But you had to move the goalpost back a bit.
Yeah, the goalposts. We for a first down, other football terms, and so then. So now I'm not quite as excited for this one, but I will still go see it.
Was when they got the quarterback,
Yeah.
It was really great to see him return, The Last Jedi.
Yeah, we had one.
I thought solo football was a bit of a fumble. It always felt like more of a team sport for me.
Yeah.
Always like the Rogue One.
And they replaced the linebacker with a different linebacker. What are the metaphors here?
What are they going to do? Disney de-age the linebacker so that he has less lines?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're also getting the first football I've been excited about since childhood. Football Mandalorian on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
We just got a new trailer for that. I haven't watched it, but apparently there's a Ming-Na Wen reveal, and I love her because Agent May is my baby.
Yeah.
Out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Who he's also being played by Maxwell Lord Dude. Whatever his name is. Pascal Pochel. Whatever.
Well, that's a lot that's going on. So that's the news.
That's the news.
There's also a Star Trek thing.
I'm going to be right back.
Oh my god. Okay, well, what's Ted's gone? I don't.
Well,
he
left. While he's gone. Let me go grab my phone charger so I'll have all the Patreon names later.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well, I mean, neither of these boys are going to care about this at all, so I'm just going to talk to myself about this. There's a Star Trek Picard trailer that came out, and I think it looks cool, and I have to buy CBS All Access again. Oh, hey, Ted. Oh, hey, Ted.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Ted. Hey.
I had to switch
Are you still
to my
recording?
laptop. Yes.
Okay,
My
sweet.
phone,
I was talking about Star Trek.
My phone was almost dead.
I was talking about the Picard trailer without you guys.
James, I swear to God, if the sound of me farting while getting up makes it into the final podcast.
Well, it will now. How are people going to know what you're talking about?
I won't even know. Because I probably
you won't listen to it. Yeah.
No, I sometimes I'm like I want to re-listen to this conversation, and other times I'm just like, I've got other.
Every once in a while, I go back and listen to episode 1 of this, and I go, oh, that's bad. And then I don't listen to it again. But anyway, we can move on to the main topics. There are a handful of them.
Which one do we want to tackle first? I feel like
let's get Arctic Dogs out of the way.
I loved Arctic Dogs. It's my new favorite movie.
Best. Except Mattie actually liked it legitimately.
My favorite part was when the dogs were Arctic.
In the Arctic. Yeah.
They were really cold.
So I'll try not to go too far into this because I'm also talking Arctic Dogs and the politics there within with the Kino Lefter podcast. It's a socialist movie podcast that I've just become aware of because one of them, I guess, is a fan of the channel and follows me on Twitter. So I'll be talking the politics of Arctic Dogs with them, which it is actually a very deeply political movie. The main topic of it was the evils of the fossil fuel industry, which was not something I was expecting going into a kids movie. But yeah, so my relationship.
Real quick, Ted, are your headphones plugged in to your computer or phone or whatever?
Not my
I can hear
phone.
Mattie twice. I just want to make sure that it doesn't have Mattie coming out of their speakers.
Are we good
I'm
now?
plugged into my laptop.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Are we good now?
I don't know.
I
Say
think
more
we're
things.
good. I only hear the one me in my
Okay.
headphones.
Whatever. Just keep
But
going.
yeah. So anyway, so for brief explanator.
Whoa.
Wacky words. So for a brief explainer, not too long ago, I was on Twitter and I saw somebody dunking on this movie, Arctic Dogs, and I didn't know.
Oh,
what
basketball
that was.
references now.
I didn't know what that was, and I saw.
That's when they put the basketball in the hoop while the jumping.
All right. Anyway, I saw a response. I saw a response that said, "How do you find these movies with no followers but are still verified?"
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Wait, what?" And so I went over and like I started just like negging them, trying to get them to follow me on Twitter while also like kind of talking trash.
Now they have they're only following the people in the movie or
Yes.
associated with the movie. They had barely any followers on Twitter, but on their others, on Facebook and Instagram, I think they had like a bunch of people, right? Like a bunch
No,
of
so
followers.
on Instagram, so on Twitter they had less than 400.
Yeah.
On Facebook they had roughly 900 something, and then on Instagram they had like 80K.
So they were only focusing on that somehow.
Well, I went back and looked at the Instagram again today, and they are now at 79.1K. So they lost.
They
They've
dropped.
lost 900. Yeah, but so apparently a bunch of people have been memeing on Arctic Dogs because I guess it's just like everything around it just seems really just
Bizarre.
silly from the outside looking in, and
Yeah.
it's very weird. If I'm being honest, like I loved the movie. Like I was very surprised.
Ooh, hot take.
Well, yeah. Okay. So also I skipped over some stuff.
Yes.
Like the Twitter thing happened and it just left my mind altogether. And then I went to go see Jay and Silent Bob Reboot with a friend of mine. And we both took a bunch of edibles before going in. And
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
all of a sudden, we were presented with the Arctic Dogs marquee pop-up cardboard thing inside of the theater, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is that movie from Twitter!" And so I had to take my my paid ad commercial with it, telling people to go see Arctic Dogs. And then that's when I started like negging them on Twitter. Like they put up one post that said Arctic Dogs is out tomorrow, scream it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went out of my way to get onto a rooftop and scream about Arctic Dogs to the whole of the Halloween traffic in Northgate, Seattle, which was probably a lot of foot traffic. But yeah, so I ended up going and seeing the movie, and I really enjoyed it. I think
You
the
showed up with
story-
Sissy, assuming no one would be coming in, and then a woman and her daughter came in, right? Like, so you couldn't really be as cool, as rowdy as you wanted to be.
which is fine because like I ended up enjoying the movie. Like it was hilarious because there's on Rotten Tomatoes it's got like a 17% right now or
Right.
something like that. And one of the critics said, "Children, if your parents took you to see this movie, they don't love you." And so as soon as the mom and her daughter come into the room, I just started busting out laughing because of that review.
I'm so sorry.
Obviously,
little
mom
girl.
doesn't love you. I heard that it's just because like there needs to be more furry-friendly reporters in Hollywood.
You're not lying. You're not lying. But so okay. So anyway,
I'll do
on the
it.
movie itself,
I'll volunteer as tribute.
Yeah.
Love a good
You got the
furry.
tail. You got a tail. I know it.
On the movie itself, I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of good lefty messages in there. Like I said, most of it is about the fossil fuel industry. They've got commentary on the war for oil, how capitalism makes people compromise their morals.
Wow.
The wrongs of the death penalty.
The main character beating their wife or shooting a gun in their ceiling.
Segregation, like all kinds of things. But the voice cast was
keep going.
the voice cast was not good.
We were talking about before. Okay, so before you were invited to go on this podcast to actually talk about the movie, and therefore had to actually go see the movie, we were jokingly talking about the movie on the podcast, but in a completely serious manner, as if we'd all seen the movie, and talking out our asses about like, oh yeah, Swifty the character. Like, it was so surprising that he said fuck.
Swifty should have said fuck.
Yeah, it was so surprising that they kept the audio
I blinked
of
and
Jeremy.
I missed that whole part.
It was so surprising they kept the audio of Jeremy Renner shooting at his wife in the movie. Like, that was a really progressive choice for them. And just trying not to laugh and just trying to go through it very seriously. But then Mattie had to, like, actually see the movie, so he couldn't go through on our plans. But it's still a good topic to cover just because of all the pre-movie memes that came from this.
Oh, for sure. But like, so talking about the cast, a lot of them, especially Jeremy Renner and Heidi Klum, felt more like they were reading a script than acting.
Jeremy Renner in the trailers even sounds terrible as a voice actor. Like, he does not.
There were narration bits like at the start and ending where it's like Jeremy Renner being like, "Hey, that's me there. I bet you're wondering how I got here." Like sounding like he was reading, like a bedtime story to his daughter rather than actually, trying to be like, I am this character.
Right.
There was also a part in the movie where like there was totally a Jeremy Renner song.
Oh no.
And that was hilarious. It's
So this makes me wonder, like, how long ago they recorded for this movie, because, like, was it pre-Avengers Infinity War, or was it during that because he wasn't in Infinity War, that kind of thing? Because there was this movie that came out.
I bet it was pre.
There's a movie that came out when we were in, like, early high school where it was Sean Connery and I want to say not Matt Damon.
League of Extraordinary
Gentlemen? Who's the Trump guy on SNL?
Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin.
He played
and a bunch of
other.
other.
He played a polar bear in this movie.
Okay, good. A bunch of other, like, really high end, like, well thought of actors were recorded for this animated movie. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I could.
Baby
about,
Boss.
Like weird lizard aliens. And the guy that made the movie recorded it.
Jimmy
and then,
Neutron.
Yeah. he took like 8 or 9 years to do all the CGI on his own. It was like an animated movie. And so by the time it came out, no one went to see it. None of the actors even remembered recording for it. And I wonder if this is sort of a similar situation where it's like, what is this movie? Why are these people associated with it? It just seems like a really weird... Because there was someone else on the cast that was like...
James Franco's on there. And John Cleese.
John Cleese, that's what it was. Yeah, it's just like, does he even remember recording for this movie, or is it just going to be like
John Cleese was like the one that actually felt
Rango.
like he was in character.
Rango, right?
No, well, I don't think that was the movie, but it's okay.
But
you're not going to find it.
there were a lot of funny gags in the movie that I really appreciated. James Franco played a dodo bird, I guess, kind of. Who was obviously supposed to be the stoner. And so there's this one part where Swifty, Jeremy Renner's character, like comes back into town and is like, "Oh my god, I figured out what the evil plot is and why the dogs got kidnapped and I'm having to do their job, blah, blah, blah." Uh-huh. And so he's trying to explain it all, but he's playing the pronoun game with it and being kind of vague and using like they and them and such. And like someone's like, "Who are they?" And Swifty says, "They are the walrus!" and James Franco's character comes in, he's like, "I thought Paul was the walrus."
Well, this all sounds like something I don't get. I think I
You
have
don't know
to watch
I'm the Walrus by the Beatles?
No, I do, but I think I see what you're saying. I was thinking
Yeah.
this was more of a you have to see the movie to really understand what the fuck you're talking about.
And then like there was
Is
like,
James Franco's character like secretly high the whole time, but they don't
Yeah.
outright
Not
say
secretly.
yeah. Yeah,
Or,
there were
yeah.
like most
Arctic
of it set at a post-
DAWGs, you know?
Most of it set at a post office, and like all of the beavers that work there had really bad Italian accents.
Oh.
Like I thought they were Hispanic accents at one point, and then James Franco character comes in and he's like, so when is anyone gonna explain why all the beavers sound Italian? And like
It's like
Leave it to him to be
guy
the voice
in,
of reason.
the guy in a Goofy movie, or extremely Goofy movie, the Leaning Tower of Cheese guy that says, like, you ever just wonder why we're all, like, wearing gloves? Like, he's just very aware.
yeah.
Well, you guys can keep talking about Arctic dogs for a second. I'm going to pee, and you're going to hear me pee, but the audience is not. So,
Well, I mean,
That sounds fun.
what else do you want to know about Arctic dogs, Ted?
I want to know how many dogs were in the movie.
There were 3.
Just 3?
There were,
5?
yeah, there were 3 dogs.
3.
So
Was that enough? Was that enough dogs?
Essentially, the plot of the movie is the dogs are glorified.
I've seen Balto, just so you know.
Yeah, so the dogs are glorified post office workers, and Swifty, who is an Arctic fox, looks up to them and wants to become one of them when he gets older.
I can't even hear you over the sound of James's pee.
Yeah, this is.
I really can't. It's like a white noise.
Yeah, I know.
White noise from a white boy.
He'll just have to edit that out anyway.
Or he'll probably just edit it back in.
That's why no one listens to this podcast.
This is great. This is why the podcast it's gone down the toilet.
He got upset. He got upset when both of us got up to like do things at a reasonable point, and in the middle of a conversation, he says, "I'm gonna get up to pee."
Yep. That's James for you. He does that in the middle of Legacies work too. He'll like draw up half of Batman's face and be like, "I'm gonna pee on the paper." That's
I do that. Yeah.
But no, so I was explaining essentially because I realized that I didn't explain it yet. The plot of Arctic Dogs is that there are 3 dogs known as the top dogs who are just glorified post office workers, and everybody in the city loves them, and Swifty looks up to them and wants to be one of them when he's older. Eventually, he gets older and he gets a job at the post office, but he's a package sorter, and he has to try out to be one of the top dogs, and everyone's like, "You can't do it. You're just an Arctic fox. You don't have the strength and the stamina, blah blah blah." And then the dogs get kidnapped by John Cleese's character, who is a walrus with robotic octopus legs.
Oh.
Kind of like Mr. Waternoose looking situation going on. And he is trying to, I guess, kind of build a device to extract fossil fuel out of the Arctic Circle, and he's disrupting communities to do so, and all with the hopes of a more efficient postal system. And so eventually, like at the start,
Wow.
Swifty lets all of the fame get to his head. And like doesn't even kind of let anyone know what's going on. Like he tries to, and then they're like, "Oh my god, you actually did the job! That's awesome!" And like everyone starts celebrating him, and because they think the dogs quit and left the city rather than being kidnapped. And eventually things turn around, and Swifty's like, "No, look, I gotta let you guys know the real truth." And then they go fight the wars for oil.
Wow.
It's a lot more complex than I expected.
It is. It really is.
It on it like I'm very surprised at like how kind of deep it got. And I wish it had a better voice cast, and I wish the CG didn't look as flat.
Sounds like the poor man's Zootopia.
There was a video I was watching about. I wish I could remember who did it, but they were watching about actors in big animated movies. I don't know if you count Arctic Dogs as a big animated movie, but
Played on the theater screen at cinema.
Yeah, that's
Martin
true.
Scorsese.
Yeah, it is cinema.
Oh,
yeah.
so I had to drive 30 minutes away
Yeah.
to get to a movie theater that was playing this.
Yeah.
The theater that I normally go to, just steps away from my house, was the one that had the cardboard stand-up marquee going on, and they weren't even playing the movie.
That seems wrong.
Yeah, but like the cast being all like screen actors that are, you know, the names that will draw you to the movie instead of the actual movie itself, apparently spawns mostly from Robin Williams being the genie in Aladdin. That was one of the first times that like there was a name associated with the movie that like that's how they were marketing. It was like, it's Robin goddamn Williams. You're gonna come see this movie.
Yeah, I think this is something that Lindsay Ellis touched on
that's
in a
it.
video essay that she did.
Yep. And yeah, there's just since then that's what people, you know, fucking Angry Birds and Emoji
Will Smith
Movie
in a
and
Shark
all that
Tale.
stuff. Right, exactly. Will Smith in Aladdin.
Rio,
that's what gets you to the
Shrek, and
So, I mean, it works sometimes. Like Shrek is built around the characters being like, I don't know,
Michael
adult,
Myers and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, adult versions of cartoon characters. Like they're not. It's not like the Angry Birds movie with Mike Myers, even though he would totally do that. But yeah, this movie definitely feels like one of those. So maybe we should have an Arctic Dogs commentary when it comes out on Blu-ray, and we.
You know what could be really fun? What if we got our own cast together to redub Arctic Dogs with people who seem like they care about the script?
Yeah, we'll buy the soundtrack. I'll re-foley all the sound effects.
Nice.
Let's do it.
Sounds like a project worth my time. Yeah.
I want to play the Dodo Bird. I want to be James Franco.
I can see it.
I could do it.
I'll be Walrus Man.
Oh,
you.
So before moving on, one of my favorite jokes in the whole movie that it took me a second to catch on is his love interest's name is Jade, and his best friend is named PB. So
PB and Jade.
Oh,
PB and Jade.
Did Jade and PB get together instead of him and Jade?
No, I was halfway expecting that because of the names, but no, it didn't happen that way.
Do you guys remember PB and J Otter from
Yes.
Playhouse Disney? Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, is that going to be on Disney Plus?
It better be.
It should
Do you think
be.
Doug's
That's the
going to be on
best.
Disney Plus? I like Doug.
Oh,
I'm
but it'll
pretty sure it
only
is.
be
I actually-
Disney's Doug.
I actually I knew someone who was a voice actor in Doug. I forget what
Did he
his
play
name was.
Skeeter?
Yeah.
No, he didn't play any of the main people, but his claim to fame was being Bill Clinton in the Beavis and Butthead movie.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and so he lived in Panama City and was friends with my dad, and we helped him move across town at one point, and this was back when GameCube was a thing, or was just out, and they had one, and so I spent as much time as possible over there because they were rich and we weren't.
That makes sense. That's the house to go to when you're a kid.
That's
who has
true.
the
Exactly.
biggest
The one with the
living
GameCube.
room? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, moving on.
Yeah. Did you want me to talk about Vireality?
Sure.
Let's do it, dude.
I'm gonna
Give us the
try to
pitch.
keep it. I'll keep it as brief as I can because I could talk
I mean,
for hours.
you don't
about
even
this,
have to.
but-
You don't even have to keep it that brief. I mean, you just released
Sure.
a teaser trailer,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the people are trying to figure out what is this.
Here, how
what is
about
this about?
real-
What's
Yeah.
going
before
on?
I
Did you
describe
post it
it.
on the Watchtower Database channel?
I did, yeah. Before I
What is-
describe it, you tell me what you think it is, Mattie.
So from what I understand, it is an anti-Google Stadia propaganda piece. You're not very happy that they're moving into the video game streaming industry, and you want to put a stop to it by killing Sir Go Ogle himself.
That's like, yeah, you got like 75% of it.
That's it. That's basically it. There's a multiverse.
Yeah.
Before multiverse was cool.
Yeah, I was going to say this movie's taken so long that multiverse stuff's in the zeitgeist now, which is actually helpful for the release of the movie because I don't have to explain what the hell's going on as much. The gist of the origins of the movie is prior to Watchtower Database, I had a YouTube channel since 2006, JTS Entertainment. Which you still see that logo on the Legacies issues and a couple other things.
If you're not subscribed over there, go check it out.
Yeah,
that's true.
It spawned from high school, really terribly made videos. I had no idea what I was doing. None of us knew how to act or do anything. And some would say we still don't know how to act. But we got kind of a cult following around our high school of the videos, and a handful of subscribers on YouTube after like 6 years of doing it. And then I kind of flipped it over to a new YouTube channel, re-uploaded all the old stuff, started making newer stuff that was at least mildly better. And long story short, it just never really went anywhere. That is the channel that, if you're listening to this, you may have seen the Batman v Superman animated trailer that I did when the first trailer for that movie came out. I redid it with the DCAU versions of the characters and some voices and stuff like that. Except for the "Do you bleed? You will" thing at the end is just me because I couldn't find a good Kevin Conroy line that would cover it.
For a while.
You should you should re-upload that over here and see if it.
I thought about that. Yeah. Well, it's over 1 million views on the JTS channel, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, I could do it on both. But anyway, that channel never really got anywhere except for after I posted that Batman v Superman video. Then I went from like 200 subscribers to like 2,000 subscribers. And I was already in the process of writing a script for Vireality, which at the time was just like the Google Plus movie. And I had no idea what I was going to call it. Ted was helping me with some rewrites and kind of making it more cohesive, and then wound up doing like a pretty big overhaul edit with me of like no one will understand any of these references to your old videos because no one has seen your old videos. And there is still plenty of those references, but they're a lot more hidden and a lot more in just maybe a 10-minute period of the movie instead of the entire movie.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I took out some of the more unadulterated jokes too.
Yeah, there were some questionable. Wouldn't really fly.
2013 writing James.
Yeah,
a little different than 2019 editing James.
Yeah, I'm a little more woke now, if you might say. But anyway,
culturally sensitive.
Yeah. So the main plot of the movie is I play myself. I play JTS Entertainment producer James Strecker, and I get sucked into YouTube to fight Google, who is taking over YouTube. And of course, the idea was spawned around the time that we were writing the script, which was like 2014, 2015 type of time, where Google Plus was kind of trying to force itself upon you no matter what you were doing. It's like, you have to change your channel name to your real name. You have to always be signed in on this account, and just all this kind of stuff that like everybody hated. They were changing the comment section. They were changing how you saw subscribers and how subscribers saw you, and that's still sort of going on. There's just constant changes to YouTube from Google, from higher up, that no one wants.
Trying to make it better.
And nothing's broke. There's nothing to fix. There's lots of stuff to fix now because they broke it all. Anyway, it is a tongue-in-cheek but pretty obvious jab at Google. The bad guy is named Google, which is barely not Google, and he's kind of is a more Power Rangers villain looking dude. I'm gonna probably try to keep him out of the trailers until the last second, because I really like how the costume turned out, and I don't want people to see it necessarily.
Is this what I was wearing?
No.
Okay.
Those are the bots. Those are the Google's bots.
Gotcha.
You've seen them.
I played 9 different robots. We were inside of a nuclear power facility.
Yep.
That they filmed Transformers. Age of Extinction at?
Yeah, whatever the fourth one is. Yeah.
Yeah. So That was an interesting experience. It was very uncomfortable and very cold, but you know what?
Yeah.
I had fun. I had fun.
Yeah.
We went and got Mexican food afterwards. Elmo, Washington is a beautiful place. I tried White Claw. I tried White Claw for the first time.
Yeah, no, that was a
Doesn't
terrible
live up
drink.
to the hype.
Drink Natty Light's got their own version now.
I've been looking for the Four Loko one. I can't find it anywhere.
I only say Natty Light because my actor from the Pop Up is Dead movies and the
Yeah.
Natty Light commercial.
But we got stared at the chicken roof.
Yes, we did.
Because
Chicken roof.
that guy didn't like that I was singing the songs, I guess.
Yeah, you weren't even
know.
being like Max Mattie volume. We were just normal people, but we didn't. We were like, what's that? What's the third in the Shaun of the Dead trilogy? The World's End. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Where the
Yes.
but it's got like all the like weird alien robots that like know if you're not one of them, and they like kind of just they're all like staring at you with their mouths open and light shining out and stuff like that, and they're trying to kick you out of the town and murder you. That's what it felt like in Chicken Roof, is what I'm trying to say.
I think I've only watched that one like once, so it's not really much of
I've
a
It kind of
seen it
happens
many
in Hot
times.
Fuzz
I
too.
understand
The
that-
whole town, they're just like
Yeah,
suspicious.
it's a zombie kind of
Recurring theme.
trend.
Right,
Yeah.
you're right.
But I mean, I don't have a ton to say about the movie. I've been filming it since 2015, so it's taken its goddamn time. But it has a lot of heart put into it. I've spared no expense making it the most expensive movie that I've ever made. My previous feature film projects were all in high school, and it was all just film it after school. We don't know what we're doing. We have no money, blah, blah, blah. This one, I put money into the costumes and the special effects and the appearances by real Portland actors and all this stuff like that. So
He's gonna pay me a whole $20 for my gas.
I sure will
Nice.
in the future.
Sure.
Yeah, but no, and yeah, there are cameos from Ted and Mattie. Mattie plays some robots. You're both near the end when a big bad thing is happening that I'm not going to spoil.
Maddie should get all the revenue from the next podcast episode.
My face is visible.
Not this one, but the next one.
I mean, that would cover it probably. Yeah.
Well, it's not going to exist.
Yeah. Oh man.
Aw.
But yeah, I think Ted and I were the ones to decide on Vireality as the name.
I had nothing to do with it.
It
so
was me.
probably.
Well, I meant just humans in general.
You know.
It was Ted.
I came up with it, yeah.
And
You can blame me.
Oh, it was just you.
Yep.
I don't even remember.
For virtual reality.
Yeah, but also viral,
together.
like viral videos,
Mm-hmm.
and virility,
Reality. It's all there together.
sexual virility.
I'm good at naming things.
Yeah, there's also
right,
there
Skip.
are a
Should I
handful
call you Skip,
of
James? I named you Skip.
no,
All right, Skip.
no.
Cool. Continue.
Thank you.
Skip.
There's a handful of DCAU references in the movie because I can't possibly make a movie and not throw some of those in. There's an Aglitz joke. There is a callback to. There's a Willet Cannon can appearance, a little bit
Nice.
hidden, so you might have to look for it. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but it's been a lot of fun, a lot of stress. Now I just have to do all of the special effects, and that's going to take a little while. But I'm excited to see people commenting on the trailer because I uploaded it to JTS Entertainment, of course, because anyone that would follow it would be there. But everyone uploaded it. I've uploaded it to the Watchtower Database channel, and there are a lot of people commenting on it, which is nice to see. People that like I see these comments and go like, the nerds, they get it. Like they understand me. Like there's plenty of people going, I have no idea what this is, but this looks really cool. But I like I'm trying to find a specific one here. Kevin Mendez says this is the real movie that Terry and his parents were walking out of when Phantasm almost killed them. Gray Ghost Strikes or whatever was an animation error.
Nice.
So Battle Up Saber said, this is cool and all, but I don't see how it connects to the Zeta Project.
I commented.
So, yeah. Ted said, I'll beat them with you, James.
No, I didn't say that.
I'll beat it with you. Sorry. Yeah.
Is Jessica okay with that?
Yeah, I think so. I'm okay with it. So, and
We'll
then
just beat
which
it.
someone replied
Beat it with
closely
you.
knit. Someone replied closely knit friends right there. So,
Yeah, that's right, Skip. We beat it together.
Yeah. But if you haven't watched the teaser, go check it out. It is, as you'll see in the teaser, there are unfinished special effects shots, but that's kind of I just wanted to show off the movie at all. You'll see a bunch of green screen backdrops and stuff like that. But and this teaser doesn't explain the plot whatsoever, but it's just kind of a jumble of shots that kind of give you an idea of the tone of the movie. It is very silly. It is very over the top on purpose. Yeah. That's about all I got to say until there's more to say later. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right, which
The end.
topic do we want to move to next? I feel
Let's do
I feel like we
Batman
could do-
figures.
Okay.
Unless you have a different idea.
Well, I was gonna say we could say Batman figures is probably gonna be the biggest one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do Red Sun, then Batman figures, and then the last one.
Yeah. Okay.
So, the Red Sun sneak peek came out through the Wonder Woman's Bloodlines release. It was difficult for us to track it down because we started buying digital through Vudu, and Vudu doesn't give you the special features right there. You have to hook it up to Movies Anywhere and then watch it there.
But
So
I'm glad
James-
that you could do that because, I just watched it this morning.
James
finally.
just watched it. Ted, did you watch it today?
I did. I watched it right before I hit record on the podcast.
Okay, awesome. And I watched it about a week ago, so I'll let you guys tee off the conversation so I can pop in when I remember things.
Well, so I was, for some reason, I thought that you had said before. It turned out that you were mentioning how you thought that the Russian accents from the actual actors in the movie were not that great. I, for some reason, read that as Jim Krieg and the like producers being interviewed for the like behind the scenes video
Bruce
were
Timm.
speaking in terrible Russian accents the whole time, and it was really like racist or something. But that's not the case, and which I'm glad about.
So
It's Jason
okay,
Isaac
okay,
is the voice of
see.
Superman. Jason
I see-
Isaac.
Yeah.
I see why you... Okay, so I think I had worded my message weird. I was saying that the Russian accents were bad, but I was also talking about how the producers were talking about how, like, it's relevant to current geopolitical stuff.
Right.
Which to me, like, I understand to an extent, like, the Russia, like, scare going on, and that, like, Putin's not a good guy. But I also think that a lot of what's going on with the Russia scare is xenophobic.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. It's
and,
not
and like and isn't okay. So
it's really weird that they worded it that way and left that on the special feature.
yeah. So I'm very like hesitant going into this, like, because I haven't read
It
Red
was
Sun.
worded, I think, as like obliquely as possible. Like it was just saying, like, yeah, there's a lot of tension right now. It could have been just like Russian collusion, you know.
I guess if
Mueller
the
report.
subject matter they're talking about, they might not be able to not mention something like that. But it just seemed like a weird choice to keep that in the edit, I guess. Like, you know.
Possibly.
And also, why is Jim Krieg wearing a weird Russian
just having
military
fun with it.
uniform?
He's a comrade.
I guess so.
A lot of
See, that's
Hollywood
why I
screenwriters
thought that
are.
maybe he would just be like, yes, when we read comic, we were like, this would be good movie. Like he was just doing that the whole
But
time.
then
or
Moose
something,
and
but-
Squirrel come in and ruin it all.
Yeah,
That's
God.
right.
But yeah, so I mean, what are your guys' feel of the movie? For me, I'm feeling kind of hesitant about it. I don't think Bruce Timm really has steered us too wrong. People could disagree.
I think it works better as a comic. I'll have to see the movie. I'm sure I will. I
Yeah.
think that the comic has a lot of like with a written medium in general. I think you can get away with a lot more like social commentary stuff that's not gonna cut people too hard. I think when it's in the movie, like especially even just lines like. What is it? Just like ladies and gentlemen, I give you Superman. Like you can read that however you want, but you're hearing it in this weird like guy trying to imitate Russian man, doing it badly. Over the top.
I
probably
really
should
wish
just
they
hired
had
a
gotten.
Russian. Mm-hmm.
I wish they had gotten Russian actors.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there was the one
like,
guy who
the guy
was
playing
in...
Superman, isn't he like English or British?
It's Jason Isaacs who played Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies, and he was Ra's al Ghul in Batman Under the Red Hood.
Yeah,
he was also Lex Luthor in Justice League Gods and Monsters.
There you go.
That's such a weird casting choice.
I'm
excited. So the one thing that like I am interested in is Diedrich Bader's Lex.
I had no idea that was the case.
Ooh, I'm interested in the guy who played the Penguin from
That's
Batman
what I was just trying to look him
back
up.
as Brainiac.
Yeah.
Oh, true. They didn't they didn't really show
Paul
much
Williams.
of him.
Paul Williams.
There are some casting choices that I'm like really interested with, and then, like any of the ones that are Russian accents.
Yeah.
It's
like, Amy Acker is
just
Lois Lane. She
Russian
was
people?
Amy Acker's Lois Lane. She was Huntress on Justice League Unlimited.
That's cool.
There's a bunch of returning DCAU voice actors, not like playing other characters, which is pretty cool.
John Stewart's coming back as
with Phil Lamar.
Phil Lamar's,
yeah,
right.
And Wonder Woman, I think the voice actress is the same one that did it in the 2009 movie. I might be wrong.
Cool.
She's done it before, and I think that's the one that she was in. But I agree that everyone that is an American character seems like a good choice. And then for some reason, they're just doing the whole thing we were just talking about with Arctic Dogs, where they're just putting names that you recognize in the movie doing Russian accents. And I don't know. It doesn't sound like Superman to me for some reason. He's not supposed to, I guess. He's supposed to be weird Soviet Superman, but...
Yeah, but they were still trying to have this like bit of kindness in his voice. Like, Jason Isaacs does go pretty in-depth in that little preview about like how he shaped the voice.
Yeah, I agreed. I agreed with what he said there. It's just a weird, like... Superman normally has an American English accent, so he is a British man playing a normally American character with a Russian accent, and it's just like the trend
from Krypton.
The middle. Yeah, yeah. With where's the Kryptonian accent? What the hell? But like, somehow it loses me in the middle of all that of like sounding like Superman. It's just like, what am I listening for? This is just Jason Isaacs doing a Russian accent. I don't know.
I'm hoping that like in context of the movie, like it feels fresh. But I don't know.
I've always thought that the Batman design, where he's just Batman but with one of those fuzzy hats, is kind of weird. Like, why would he still have a Batman helmet and that hat?
It makes him look cute. I love it.
Yeah.
I want to hug. I want to hug
little
that
teddy
Batman.
bear. Yeah. The Batman that's the most murderous.
Yeah.
He kind of smiles in that one screenshot, right?
Yeah,
he looks adorable.
He's got some undefeated bombs.
You like my hat?
Speaking of Batman, though, I think we've got a main topic.
Yeah.
That we should probably start moving into.
The Batman action figures.
Yes.
Yeah.
The adventure continues.
So they are doing an Adventure Continues line of Batman the Animated Series figures with DC Collectibles.
These were all designed by Ty Templeton, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all characters that never showed up on the show, designed by Ty Templeton and sculpted by Harding Studios.
And Ty Templeton is he's the artist for the Batman Adventures and a bunch of other
Gotham
DCAU
Adventures. He wrote a bunch of
stuff,
Gotham Adventures issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Paul Dini is writing official bios to go with all of these.
Yeah.
But we don't have access to those right now.
Yeah.
So today we're going to speculate and assume
if they were in continuity.
and assume that they're being written as if they're in continuity.
That's what they say. Allegedly, they're supposed to be written as if this animated series continued, and these characters are folded into the DCAU.
So let's try to figure that out. I know some of these. I know some of these we have Legacies plans for, so I don't know how hard we want to
I won't spoil any of
some,
that.
But
I won't go
Yeah,
there
but
too
yeah,
bad.
let's.
I would say
pick
as a
one and
blank, I'd say as a blanket statement is, I think the majority of these could easily have the exact same origin as their comic book counterpart, because there's not a lot to discard that from happening, because they're all very Unique characters some are from different
Yeah.
universes, some are from different multiverses, some are from, different like pasts and futures and stuff like that could easily be like, yeah, that happened.
So which
And-
ones do we think like would be the hardest to fit in?
think
and let's
Red
just focus
Hood.
on those.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Red Hood for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Maybe
Jason
the dark-
Todd never existed.
Maybe the Dark Knight suit.
Yeah, I mean that's one of them that I
I've
see
just
as
never
like a
seen that
multiverse
suit
thing.
before.
Oh right, this is the armor. That's right.
Right. It's
But I
just
think that
armor.
could easily be like a Batman Beyond kind of thing, where like, oh, I also had this armor before I made the
Sure,
other one, or
but we're
whatever,
trying to
but-
pick out the list of the ones that we're going to explain. We're not explaining them yet, James.
What are you talking about?
I said let's figure out the ones.
Okay, Red
that, like,
Hood.
Well, real
would be harder
quick,
to explain.
the ones they've announced so far are Red Hood, Deathstroke, the Dark Knight suit, and I'm trying to do them in order. Azrael.
Azrael.
Batman.
Azrael,
And
yeah.
the next batch ended up being the Batman Who Laughs, Vampire Batman from Red Rain, Hush,
Talon.
and Talon, and Flashpoint Batman.
Yeah, that's
So
all.
yes, those are the
Oh,
ones
and
we're working with.
did you say Deathstroke up
I
top?
did say Deathstroke.
Okay.
So I think the hardest ones to add in right now would be Red Hood, the Dark Knight suit. These I'm talking ones that we can't use their comic.
Well, let's go one by one.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So let's
Sure.
start with Red Hood because it's the hardest one, I think. You can't do it traditionally, I don't think, because we've done many topics on this already, either Vanishing Point or we've talked about it in like the Titans video and stuff like that. Jason Todd, there's no time for him really. Like there's like a year maximum or something like that he could possibly be in and out during. But there's not like, I don't know, it doesn't really seem to work with his traditional
In between.
origin. Yeah, and same
Dick
thing
and Tim,
kind
yeah.
of with like the Ra's al Ghul stuff is like he seems to have been behind the resurrection of Jason Todd and coming back as Red Hood and stuff like that. So I feel like if the Red Hood character was not Jason Todd, you could have
Could be
him
Tim Drake post his
yeah,
transformation as the
that'd be-
Joker.
that would be kind of cool. Or just completely separate entity of some kind. He just maybe shows up and maybe there's some sort of story where Batman thinks that it's Tim or some previous person he interacted with because they show signs, kind of like Red X. They show signs of like, oh, they know who I am, they know how I do things. But you can't do the Under the Red Hood story like line for line.
There's also
in the
not a
DCAU.
the Red Hood in the DCAU was only in the Batman Adventures
Yeah,
comics
yeah.
and not
Yeah.
the Joker previously.
So
Right.
hold on though. But what if he works in that 1 year
he could.
and-
He could.
and Ra's revived him and he's part of the near apocalypse?
So basically, you are just shoving the actual origin into
Yeah,
the
just
DCAU.
Yeah.
shove it in. You know, we've got Tim Drake's already similar to Jason Todd, and it wasn't on purpose. So I mean, why not?
Well,
give
so the Jason Todd figure that we're talking about, he does come like you can unmask him and see his actual face, and he has kind of like sunken eyes, and he's got like a little wispy X-Men rogue white little bit in his hair, which would insinuate that he has the Lazarus Pit resurrection going on, just like he does any other time.
Because Raish has that little thing too. He's got the little white
Well, yeah,
white streaks.
It's like
Ra's
part
had
of
it
his
going
soul.
on. Bruce had
yeah.
it going on.
And Raish has those sunken eyes also. So
So I do think that there's also another possibility that he could be like, say, after Batman retires, he's just somebody who's like, hey, fucking Gotham's been left to like rot. Where the fuck is Batman at?
yeah, and they could
and
easily
kinda-
make that be a guy named Jason Todd. Like he doesn't like they've
Yeah.
already messed with other people's origins so much. Kyle Rayner and Supergirl and all that stuff. Like, and even Tim Drake is sort of a Jason Todd combo.
Power
so you
Girl,
could just
Galatea.
yeah, you do whatever you want. But yeah, I
True.
don't know. It'd be cool to see him. That what Mattie said was a little bit of a Legacies idea that I won't delve into, but it
got-
would be cool to see him post Batman retiring. But you know,
we'll see. Oh, you want to talk about Hush next?
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
I mean,
this is
pretty naturally with the like traditional Hush, like Tommy Elliott version from the comics.
Right.
Yeah, this
I mean,
is one that I think could very easily have the same origin as he does.
Yeah.
I think for the purposes of the DCAU, like, it would kind of be weird that we know absolutely nothing about Tommy Elliott.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, like, he's a big deal.
I mean,
I feel like
in the comics. We didn't know anything about him, then suddenly he's a character.
Sure, I guess. But I feel like to make it work naturally with like the Batman stuff, maybe some of it would need to be set during the Lost Years.
Sure.
Just like flashback sequences to be like, hey, this is why we were good friends, and now here we are after the time of Justice League, to be like, oh, now you're a villain.
Yeah.
I think it makes it more poignant for him to be like a childhood friend of Bruce's or something. I think the actual childhood of Bruce is a time period we haven't seen enough for it to be weird. Like, if it was how it is in the Hush comic, where like they were friends also during Bruce's like college years and that kind of time of his life, that might be a little hard to believe just because we've seen the Phantasm flashbacks in that era a bunch.
Right.
And we never saw him. But that doesn't necessarily mean he wasn't around. I think that it would be better to probably make it like we were like best friends, and then my parents died, and like I had to stay locked up in the Wayne Manor so much, and I never saw him again. And then when he pops back up, like, oh my god, my best friend from childhood. Mm-hmm. What? You're Hush? Oh my god, no.
Yeah, I'd much rather have him be Hush than the villain who was revealed. I was trying to not
I
spoil
said the really cool guy in the movie.
The villain. Yeah, it's not Tommy Elliott in the recent adaptation, but
even though he is in the movie.
yeah. But what's great about Tommy is he's jealous of Bruce Wayne to the point where Tommy kills his own parents, and like he's basically trying to have like he's jealous of Bruce, and that's the driving force behind Hush. He wants to take everything that Bruce is and. Yeah,
which also sort of leads into Talon, because I think that's a very similar character in terms of like how you would fit them into the DCAU. Mm-hmm. He has like the Court of Owls, again, another like they weren't a thing until they were a thing. Like they were just suddenly revealed to you. But it has a very...
I think Court of Owls that works a lot better with, because they are by like definition a shadow society.
Right. Yeah.
We can have recurring characters be revealed to be part of the court.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking like Hamilton Hill. It's like a random
cool.
example.
He's so bumbling, but he was.
I don't think he would work, or else they wouldn't have named the high school after him, right?
Yeah, unless they never found out.
Yeah. But yeah, the Court of Owls being like a deep-seated, like they've been around way before Batman. In Gotham City, it makes a lot of sense. I think it would work really well in the DCAU because we don't get a lot of Gotham history prior to Bruce Wayne's parents dying, right. So I think there's a lot to play around with in that time. And again, it could be a similar thing to. I don't think maybe doing both like the Talons and Hush would be. Like too much, like if you did like two Batman the Animated Series style movies, and one was Hush and one was
what if they were together? What if Tommy was on the Court of Owls?
Why are you so far away from your microphone now?
God, I don't know, but yeah, I mean,
that could have Tommy and combine them. Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah. Talons are interesting because they are also the the Talons themselves, like the action figure, they are the like mercenaries for the Court of Owls, and there's like a long lineage of Talons. They're all basically like zombies controlled by the court. They're controlled by like an implant in their teeth.
Yeah.
One of them being Dick Grayson's ancestors were part of the Talons, and we learn later that Dick actually like could potentially have turned into a Talon. Because he had that same implant. But There was
Yeah, so that's something that could work pretty well because it's another area of the DCAU
Maybe that's
that
where
wasn't
Nightwing
explored
went.
too much. Yeah,
there
that's
he
where
is.
he's been this whole time.
Now, did you guys notice that that on the more recent Comic-Con reveal where when Hush and Flashpoint were revealed, the Talon on there says Talon V2?
Yes, I did notice that. I wonder if the first one, because there was a Talon character during the early days of the New 52. His name was Calvin Rose, and he was kind of like a Batman Beyond type character, just in the idea that he was a young man who answered to like an older man who just was like at the computer screens telling him what to do in an earpiece. And that old man was one of the Grandmasters in the Court of Owls. So it was like, but this Talon was kind of a hero.
Was Court of Owls like start of New 52 or was it pre New 52?
It was start of the New 52.
I think that was one of the first Batman comic stories that I read.
That was Batman number 1 to 12.
So I don't.
At your advice, Ted.
It's a good one.
I don't think that the V2 was about the character specifically, because I just looked it up. The original reveal was just artwork of Batman Who Laughs, Talon, and Vampire Batman, and the designs are different from Talon to Talon. So I'm wondering if we're getting two different Talon figures, or if it's just V2 as in we updated the design.
Probably just a design update, yeah.
The first one looks a lot nicer. Hold on, let me send you guys
while you're doing that.
Different.
I'm thinking of specifically. I think the Talon outfit. I know obviously like Ty Templeton is translating these to the more streamlined like New Batman Adventures kind of looking style, but I think the Talon outfit specifically is just covered in straps and pouches and just all
daggers
sorts of details. Yeah, there's just details upon details every inch of the suit, and it'd be kind of hard. I feel like you'd have to give it an overhaul, much like the Society of Shadows guys, where they're just kind of like Black Spider-Man looking ninja dudes. They're less of like you can keep the mask design, and then the rest would kind of need to just be, oh, I see these differences now. Yeah, this is a lot. They're a lot different. But yeah, well, it's kind of what
Describe
I'm saying.
Describe them, James.
Okay, so this first Talon, he's got like some gears on his belt. He's got straps everywhere. He's got buttons everywhere. He's got all sorts of lines and details. This second Talon is a lot more stripped down. He's got like a sash across. He kind of looks like he's wearing
the. He looks like he's wearing the Black
Cult
Panther
of the
suit.
Cat. Well, yeah.
They're also one is a 3/4 turn and the other is a front turn.
True. Yes.
I noticed that.
I think you could potentially say this is two different figures we're getting, because isn't there like there's well, but listen, dude. There's the Talons that every Talon has like a different design.
Yes.
Maybe we're getting a Talon 2-pack.
Yeah, Talon 2
for 1.
Anyway, what other
Flashpoint Batman?
Let's move on from Talon. That's one I think can just be.
I mean,
there's the Flashpoint
it can literally
universe,
just be the same.
It's like
same difference.
In the current Batman comics, City of Bane, Flashpoint Batman is working with Bane to take over Gotham, and that the last issue just came out today. I haven't read it yet though.
Me either. I think pick up my books.
Flashpoint Batman's origin is one of the most interesting comic book character. Like, I really like spins on Batman that are, barely different. Like, oh, what if he was? I can't even think of one right now.
But, a gorilla.
Yeah, lived in a city with gaslight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just stuff that's like he's in a different time period, or I like that kind of stuff. But I really like it when they. One very specific thing is different about when the Waynes died. Because there's this guy, but there's also like the more recent. There's the Grim Knight, where
Bruce takes the gun.
But Bruce kills Joe Chill with the gun. Stuff like that, where it's like, whoa, I'd never thought of it that way. That'd be really cool to see. And
where he
this
fights
one
back and becomes a Green Lantern in the during Metal.
Yeah. And Thomas Wayne becoming Batman instead is really interesting to me. He's got a really cool suit. I like it a lot. I think they could just...
He uses a gun.
You know who else has a really cool suit?
Batman
Azrael.
Beyond.
Deathstroke.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Deathstroke.
I'm really interested in this one because I feel like this puts the nail in the coffin for the Teen Titans is not canon.
Yes.
So we need to release our third video.
Yeah.
Topic.
And then that guy can comment and say, nothing that you said in this video goes against my giant list of things that definitely aren't true.
Slave.
But yeah,
Slave.
so we did kind of get a DCAU tangential version of Deathstroke in Crisis on Two Earths.
Yeah.
Slade Wilson was the president of the alternate universe.
Yeah.
I suppose you could bring Deathstroke to the DCAU by saying he was from an alternate universe, but I don't think that there's a reason to do that, and I don't think there's a reason for an alternate universe president to become a mercenary in the DCAU.
Especially not the boring one.
Yeah.
It's Deathstroke. You could probably give him the same basic backstory as he always has had.
Vietnam war hero who becomes government experimentation, Captain America style, super soldier, mercenary.
I mean, we're
loses an
bringing
eye.
Deathstroke into Legacies and not giving him not treating him like a character. Like, how the hell does Slade exist? He's just there. Like, he's just a character.
And then he beats the crap out of the Justice League.
He sure does.
Spoiler.
Yeah, and I think it was interesting how my final design for him and this one for the figure are pretty close. I think it's kind of one of those things when we were talking to Chris Jones at Comic-Con about like him designing Booster Gold, and then Just Like Unlimited design for Booster Gold wound up being almost identical, because there are some characters that you can't really mess up when you're turning them into cartoon versions. They're just the best aspects of them. I know I embellished it a little bit, but I like my design a lot. And you'll see when we get to that. But
yeah, he could work easily.
Azrael, yeah.
This is the Batman version of Azrael.
Yeah, so I don't.
This
know
is the
much
character I'm
about
least familiar with on this list. Yeah.
Well, I read
So
Nightfall.
Ted can do it. Yeah.
I'm
cool.
Essentially, it's the story where Bane breaks Batman's back, and so Batman has to recover. So Bruce stops being Batman. He goes to heal, goes through physical therapy and whatnot. While he's healing, he calls on Jean-Paul Valley, who has been operating as Azrael, who's like part of the court of Saint Dumas.
Sure.
And they're like sort of medieval knights that are protecting Gotham and whatnot. So he's a bit of an ally, but he is like Azrael's convinced that he's hearing like religious spirits, like God is telling him, what to do, and like the stuff he's doing is righteous and stuff, and ends up sort of eventually like even though he starts having Batman's blessing to be the new Batman, this like between his sort of like madness, he kind of goes overboard, starts getting just super violent with the criminals, to the point where Batman has to, by the time he's ready to come back to Gotham, he has to come back to take Azrael down. Because he's out of control. So that's kind of how that goes. This
figure is modeled after Azrael's Batman costume.
Right, from the time where he was operating under Bruce's blessing, but after a while it got out of
I'm
hand.
I'm interested in what Paul Dini's actually going to write on that one, because I know when they brought Bane into the animated series, like they specifically said, no, the breaking Batman's back thing is stupid.
Yeah, they even did that in the episode where he's about to do it and he just pulls the plug off from, his head.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm interested to see what their actual explanation is to still kind of work their way around that.
I think this is the easiest one to fit into our thoughts on like when Batman goes away and there's 20 years without Batman, who's going to try to take over as Batman.
Right.
I think this is the most fluid one that fits into that, because that's already exactly who he's supposed to be. So.
I guess we can kind of say we have a bit of a Reign of Superman type story for Legacies set after Bruce retires, where there are people who want to take on the mantle of the Bat.
Yeah, but I think the suit looks really cool on this figure. It's the most like cartoon DCAU looking rendition.
Yeah.
I had a Batman the Animated Series figure as a kid that was Azrael. He had like a clip-on big gold spiky back cape thing like Azrael do.
Nice.
And I didn't realize what I had at the time. I was just like, oh, cool, spiky, weird red and gold Batman. Like, I don't know what this is, but yeah.
Nice.
But yeah,
There is
I've always liked that design.
Really awesome take on Azrael in the current Batman Curse of the White Knight book. And it's a bit of an origin story for Azrael. So if you are unfamiliar with Azrael, it's a great jumping in point for that character.
Well, anyway, the reason I was trying to get us to just pick a few of them that would have been the more difficult ones to get through is because we've already been doing this for 2 hours and we still have
it's
a
the
lot left to
jumbo
go.
final episode, dude.
It is. It's a oversized one, I guess.
Yeah, who cares? I got 88 hours and 57 minutes of hard drive space left. Let's keep going.
Okay, I mean,
We'll wrap this up soon.
you remember what happened when my computer was trying to record stuff with name redacted the other night? So, I mean, I'm just trying to say my stuff might crash if we
Let's
keep dragging.
speed up here. We'll do quick. Comic relief can be real quick.
Yeah.
Well, so we've still,
Do we
we've still got...
we've
still
only got 3 left, so let's just...
We got it.
burst
Yeah,
through.
the Dark Knight suit's one that I wanted to touch on because obviously we've already seen like what Bruce is doing in the future. He does have a mech suit at one point, but it doesn't look like this. It could easily have been some kind of a prototype for that, though.
I think the idea for this that I like the most is like, so we see in the Legends of the Dark Knight episode, we see the Dark Knight Returns version of Batman in the Carrie girl's mind, where she's Robin, just like the comic. And I think that you could do kind of a twist on it like they've done with Flashpoint Batman, where, that you thought that was an erased timeline or a timeline that never really existed or whatever, but then it turns out it's actually one of the 52 like worlds, or it's kind of a hidden multiverse world or whatever. Like, oh, these people actually continued to exist after we left. And so I think that maybe you could say that those 2 versions of Batman that we saw in that episode do exist in the DCAU multiverse. I think you could say that 60s style Batman is essentially the Brave and the Bold Batman, who we already know is in the same multiverse as DCAU Batman. So therefore, and also the Dark Knight Returns Batman is in that same episode. So I think that you could easily...
And so is Vampire Batman.
Toss it in there. Yeah.
Which we'll get to in a second.
Which we can also just cross off the list and say that that's what it is.
Vampire Batman's going to be an action figure, but he's in the Justice League suit, which looks really cool.
There was also the Nocturna story.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
That was
which
going to
Ted
happen and they
is
didn't.
talking about in the Justice League Dark video.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's also with the Vampire Batman, I was thinking about the there's like a image that I think it was a commission at a Comic-Con or something that Bruce Timm did of Batman fighting Dracula, where it's very bloody. He's stabbing him through the chest with a stake and stuff like that. That kind of thing wasn't really... Like, Vampire Batman wouldn't really work on Batman the Animated Series in the time that it came out, but I think you could do kind of a... And they did the Batman versus Dracula movie. I think that you could do a very similar Batman the Animated Series style movie with Batman fighting Vampire Batman or Batman turning into a vampire or something along that line.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last one, Batman Who Laughs. So another multiverse
Which
option.
you just did graphic content on.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
There's no way to do Batman Who Laughs without it being a multiverse figure. Because
Yeah,
that's his whole thing.
Unless he's a Joker's. But,
Well,
yeah, one of the Jokers.
The suit design you could toss in as a reference, but I think him the character, and I also think that if you were to do it as I think that the whole metal concept is probably too high concept for the DCAU potentially.
Not necessarily,
but you would have to really do you couldn't do it in like one standalone movie. I think it would have to be like a whole season of the show or something like that is dedicated to this.
You gotta learn Barbados, maybe see back in ancient times with the tribe of the Bat and stuff.
There's a lot of stuff going on. So, but I think that those anti-Batmen are a really cool characters, and especially if you did them in the DCAU versions where you just see like you see a universe, the dark multiverse, but you're there with the DCAU Justice Leaguers that we recognize. Would be really cool, especially that Earth -12 thing.
What I love about the figures they designed, it was sort of the hunchback that Joker has in the show, but this, like, the character himself is Bruce Wayne. It's Bruce Wayne who's infected by the Joker. It's not a Joker who's Batman. So it's Batman who's Joker.
Well,
who laughs?
Do we want to do? Let's do comic relief and everyone's trash, and then bring it back around to that last.
Yeah, that's
topic.
fine. With me.
Sounds good
Because that makes more sense.
Should we just we should say the last topic?
Everyone does one.
Us.
Huh?
Yeah. Everybody gets two. Everybody
the thing
gets
we're gonna shut
3.
up, Ted. Oh my God.
Everybody gets 1.
Okay, we're trying to.
This is why we're breaking up the podcast.
At the end, we're going to talk about pseudo future plans for the podcast. So stick around. Now, comic relief time. Ted.
Should we just do one per person on comic relief?
That's fine with me.
Tell people to stick around at the 2-hour mark.
Hold on. My headphones fell out.
God.
Oh my God.
Damn it.
Whale.
Whoa.
Whale.
Okay.
We're really good at things.
There we go.
Yeah, we're
All
cool.
right.
We're cool.
So, comic relief.
I'll go
going
last.
first?
I'll go last.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, I read stuff all the time. I actually didn't pinpoint something. Today I read Justice League number 35, which is the latest issue. Came in.
I
know.
haven't picked up my books yet.
I know, so
no.
I can't okay. Well, what I'll say, it was a good issue. The Justice Doom War is coming to a head. It's getting really interesting. It's coming to a close too, because Snyder is off the book on issue number 39, and he and Greg Capullo have said that they are coming back to do a sequel to Metal next year.
Ooh.
So it's probably going to be like a Crisis book or something.
Medals.
Yeah, I don't know, but that it seems to me like the Justice League book is going to lead into whatever this Metal sequel is. So yeah, he's almost done with this storyline. It's really cool. There were a few books today that like what I thought was really really awesome was the covers had these sort of like I don't know if the texture was, but they were like half clear. So you saw a cover, but then you turned the cover, and behind it was a second cover that was half hidden by part of the first cover.
So like one of those medical books in elementary school.
Yeah,
where you
with
flip
like a
between
weird
the bones and the
clear.
muscles.
Yes, exactly. That's a great explanation. So like there were 2. I got 2 today. The Justice League one had the Legion of Doom on the cover, but then you flip the cover over, and behind them is Perpetua. And then I got the City of Bane issue has Bane on the cover, just like standing in some rubble. But then you flip it over, and the rubble disappears, and it's Bane being controlled as a puppet by Flashpoint Batman.
Ooh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, so those were pretty cool covers.
I'm currently about 8 months behind on the Justice League comic, but I'm catching up.
There was
surely
a lot of I don't want to spoil anything, but a lot of Commandy, a lot of Justice Legion A, and Justice Society of America.
I'm a fan of the Justice Legion. I like their designs a lot.
They're pretty cool. All right, that's all I'll say.
I'm planning on picking up my books tomorrow. I've been apartment hunting.
Are you gonna get Green Lantern Dark Stars? It's a 3-issue miniseries. Or are you dropping Grant Morrison's Green Lantern?
It doesn't do anything for me.
He's in the second act. Third act's gonna get crazy. You got to stick it through with Morrison. He's a long game guy.
But
He's got that bald head. You can't trust him.
I don't trust him. He's a wizard.
I do not trust
He's
him.
a chaos magician.
Anyway, this week, well, I didn't read it, but I skimmed through it. I've read it before. The Justice League Gods and Monsters prequel. I'm writing a Vanishing Point episode timelining that universe because there's more than just the movie. There were 6 issues worth of comic and like 3 shorts that go along with it. And it's a really fascinating book. Our patron Trent,
I was just gonna mention,
sent both James and myself
and not Ted
a copy of the book, hard cover.
Yeah, of all the people
trade?
to not send comics
Is it
to.
because I'm not sending out the comics that people on my show win?
Are you not?
know.
You're supposed to be.
Well, they don't. Email.
They don't respond to you. Yeah.
I don't have the official Watchtower YouTube channel.
But yeah. So the first 3 issues are origin stories for Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman in this universe, and then the last 3 issues are a prequel to the movie that kind of sets up the Justice League as an entity, introduces them to Lex Luthor and Steve Trevor and
Amanda Waller.
Yeah, and it brings in the Forever People.
Cool.
They're kind of like built through splicing, kind of,
Ooh,
rather than
so like Big Bear's a bear.
No, not exactly.
Viking is a Viking.
Beautiful dreamer is a beautiful dreamer.
A dreamer. Yeah.
Essentially, it's rich people just getting genetic enhancements because like they're afraid to die.
This universe has always reminded me of that Stan Lee thing where he's like, take the names and make a character out of it.
Just imagine Stan Lee's DCAU.
Yeah.
They're collecting that again. Actually, I read that the other day.
Ooh.
So that last 3 issues essentially kind of ties together the in between of the origin issues and the movie itself. The really fun thing about these, though, is that Bruce Timm is typically a person who says comics aren't canon to what's on screen, but Bruce Timm wrote these along with JMD Mateus, who we talked about earlier. He's also known for like writing the Justice League Dark movie. I think he did a lot of Justice League International.
The Death short that was on the Bloodlines.
Yeah. Oh God, that was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't talk about that at all.
We should have.
It was real pretty.
It's good.
We should have. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I think it's on DC Universe, but the movie's not.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Well,
yeah, no, I read those Gods and Monsters comics when they came out, 2015 or whatever, on Comixology, I think. But I'm really happy to have the physical versions. It's the whole Gods and Monsters franchise is like weirdly spread out. But it's weirdly spread out between different mediums and different locations where you can find the stuff. It's so hard to. It's such a recent thing, and it's so difficult to. You can more easily find like rare Batman the Animated Series comics than you can Justice League Gods and Monsters. So. I don't know. It's cool to have
those
them.
shorts just straight up disappeared because Machinima's destroyed.
Right. Yeah. Currently on World's Finest. You can watch them over there. But anyway, I'm just gonna skip, and I'm just gonna say this isn't like comic book related, but I've been watching the Die Hard movies.
Nice.
With my friend Joe. Joe played the pajamas Batman at the end of the Mystery of the Batwoman timeline video. He also wrote half of the trivia questions in the Batman Gotham Under Siege videos for the handful of people that watch those. But anyway, so Joe likes to do this game with me where when we're watching any movie together, he will IMDb each actor and try to find Justice League voices that they did or Batman voices and like quiz me on like, okay, who was this guy and what character and what episode and whatever.
Ooh,
and
wow.
usually I can get it. He threw a couple of curveballs at me this time. We watched Die Hard a few days ago. So tonight we watched Die Hard 2, which it was not nearly as good as the first.
I like Die
Hard.
Hard 3 a lot.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to it yet, but I've seen it before. It's
Jeremy
definitely better
Irons.
than the second one.
Ozymandias.
Yeah.
Scar.
So I'm sure there will be more Justice League voices to pick out of that one. But so in Die Hard 2. There's a police officer who is played by Robert Costanzo, who is the voice of Detective Harvey Bullock. And he's also Titus Sweet on the Zeta Project, who is the like Brothers Day leader or whatever. So we got Robert Costanzo in there. There was also there's a reporter who was in both Die Hard movies so far. Who I recognized his face a little bit, so I asked Joe to look up him specifically to see who he was on Justice League, and it turns out he played Dr. Destiny in Justice League, and which that one was like Joe saying, oh, he was in one episode of Justice League, and I was like, okay, that doesn't help me. And he looked up the character's name and said, he was a supervillain. He debuted in Justice League of America, Volume 1, Number 5 in, 1960 whatever. And I was like, okay, that narrows it down, because I was thinking maybe like, okay, so that's like, could be like a Mazo or Despero or something like that. And then as soon as he said, oh, he's credited as the character and then also the character's secret identity. And I was like, out of all these people, John D is the only one that I can think of. And it turned out to be him. Nice. So that was cool. The third and final connection to the DCAU is a little more vague. But so there's a guy in the movie who's kind of like a CIA agent dude, and he's played by actor Fred Thompson, who became a senator eventually and worked alongside Hillary Clinton in the war against violent video games after the Columbine massacre. Oh, wow. So he is indirectly responsible for the Return of the Joker censored version. So I thought that was an interesting connection.
That is also a good one.
Alongside these other two guys. So wow. That's my comic relief is Die Hard 2. Nice. And it's DCA. I hope to continue to find DCAU connections in the Die Hard movies.
Well,
I'm sure you will.
Is it time to move to everyone's trash?
Let's get dirty.
I have a handful on my phone that I want to do first, because I think some of them are in this list, but I think some of them aren't. So we can do those and cross off the ones that turns out that you also had or whatever. So the first one that I have in here is from Jake Johnson, who, when I took the screenshot, it was before Halloween, so his name was Jake Jack-O-Lantern. This is at DCAU Watchtower. Are we going to get a Will It Canon for the CW Crisis crossover?
We should.
Okay, we had someone else ask that one as well.
Okay.
That wasn't Jake. Andy Moo. He phrased it. Can Kevin Conroy's upcoming appearance in Crisis on Infinite Earths be connected to the DCAU, or will that be saved for a future Will It Canon episode?
I mean, it would definitely have to be after we see it. No idea. No way to tell until then.
We'll have to watch it first.
Yeah. I don't plan on doing a Will It Canon on CW stuff, because I'd have to do it on like the entire Arrowverse, I think, which I'm not planning to go back and like timeline or rewatch or anything.
I think you gotta do that.
I don't think you'd have to do that, just because it's a different multiverse or a different universe.
Okay, I guess you could just Will It Canon the Kevin Conroy stuff or anything that's connected to it. But
right now, my theory is that Kevin Conroy is a continuation of the Tim Burton Batman, which explains the Michael Keaton newspaper Easter egg that we've seen floating around.
I don't think so.
At the same time, though, I also think that he is the Kingdom Come Batman.
Yeah, I think they're separate.
They might be, but I think ever since there was a Superman name drop in one of the Schumacher films, there's been like fan theorying that maybe the Christopher Reeve's Superman movies take place in the Burtonverse, and I think with Superman Returns having kind of pulled them forward in the timeline a bit, it kind of puts them, concurrent to each other, and would make a lot of sense for them to be, around the same age.
It's possible. It's possible.
So
yeah, I think I mean, maybe not an entire like Will It Canon video like show episode, but definitely like a video about Kevin Conroy's appearance would be fun to do, and how it might or might not connect to the DCAU. But
because the newspaper clipping of Michael Keaton is about marrying Selena Kyle, I think that's going to have more tied to the Birds of Prey universe.
Yeah, potentially. Well, if that's also Burtonverse, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, this I thought for some reason we'd done this last time, but I'm seeing that I have it right now, so we didn't. Maxi Sona, who did our Watchtower Database Exposed video, he's also a patron. What's your opinion on wearing socks to sleep? Don't do it. Bad.
I had a conversation with a girl on what do you call it?
Omegle.
Tinder.
I forgot what it was. But
did you say it's Tinder or Tedder?
Yes, I did.
It's Tedder when he's on
I did say that. So We were
Better is
talking
better.
about socks, and I should put in my profile that I avoid socks at all costs.
At all?
At all costs, as much as possible through the year, until it gets cold and I have to wear shoes and put socks on. But I will straight up wear flip flops and chacos the entire rest of the year and avoid socks if I can.
Socks in bed are definitely like constricting and too warm and weird, and I don't know.
Socks in life are weird.
I don't like wearing clothes to bed at all.
Clothes
Correct.
in general are weird.
Yeah. We
That's
should
true.
all
We
just
were
be
born to
naked
be
and have
naked.
those
That's why I
crystals
do
around
this
our
show
necks
with
the
no
whole time.
pants.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah.
can't tell.
Nue 52, which I think is, Nue 52. He changed his name to that because Mattie said that it sounded cool last podcast. Mattie's SCU, the Slasher Cinematic Universe, video was awesome. I'm fully on board expanding your content to other nerdy stuff, as I'm sure everyone else is. I'm asking as someone who doesn't watch too many horror movies, which would be a good jumping off point.
Just don't even start if you want to jump off.
There's a horror movie.
So, okay. So,
Yeah, Mattie, go for it.
yeah. So I am huge into slasher movies more so than other kind of horror movies. So I'm going to try to stick in that realm more than anything. My 100% top... Oh, hold on. Is it... I'm hearing two of me again. Is it...
You sound okay.
Okay. That was weird. Anyway, my 100% top...
Spooky.
My 100% top
Yes.
recommendation would be the Evil Dead trilogy. They do get confusing because they didn't have rights to their own movies whenever they made the sequels. So they put in stuff that doesn't really match up like one for one in each movie. But Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness are all iconic in their own rights.
Yeah.
The Nightmare on Elm Street series, there's not a bad movie with Freddy Krueger in it.
I saw for the first time the remake with Katie Cassidy from Arrow.
I saw that when
Yeah.
it came out, yeah.
Nice. I watched it like 2 days ago. It was great.
So the remake is a lot darker and takes away a lot of the levity of Freddy Krueger. But I still enjoy it as a separate entity. But the original series is fantastic. Wes Craven's New Nightmare is fantastic. Freddy vs. Jason is fantastic. The Chucky movies, more often than not, have a lot of a lot of hits. There's like one miss in there.
Real quick, I heard that Elijah Wood is debating producing his own Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I saw that in the news today.
Oh, I would be so on board. But yeah, so more than anything, the slasher films where the main character has a personality are going to be the ones that are going to be a lot of fun to watch. So that's your Evil Deads or your Nightmares on Elm Street, your Chucky movies. The Halloween and the Friday the 13th films, like they very much all skew on what people think of them. It's pretty commonly accepted the first of both franchises are good, and after that, no one can really agree.
It gets pretty messy, but I was gonna say
slasher
from
films.
my messy blood, from my perspective of all this, I've always been a lot more of a like sci-fi horror fan than a slasher fan, so like Alien and Terminator and that kind of thing. But I think that the video that you did, the vanishing point on all this while editing it, was like, oh, I've never seen most of these. I would like to give them a shot, especially the Jason movies and the Halloween movies.
As far as going back to that video, I think the newer movies in that video need a fair shake. Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon is
right. You sent that to me to put in, so
it's a mockumentary based in like, if these slashers were real, and so it's a film crew following a slasher.
Which I think I would enjoy better knowing the references by seeing the other movies. But
yeah, I mean, there's not like a whole lot of references that they don't hinge the plot on the references,
right?
But it does like kind of follow the tropes. So if you've seen some movies in this genre before, you'll kind of catch on.
Yeah.
Hatchet also follows the tropes, but they kind of play it more seriously, so it's really fun. They go over the top with all of the kills, and it's just a bloody mess, and it's a beautiful thing to behold. The director who did the Hatchet series also did this one-off movie called Frozen.
Frozen. Sorry, I coughed over it. Frozen, the Disney movie Frozen. Yes.
No, not the Disney movie.
Where they're
No,
singing on a
this was-
ski lift.
Oh, Frozen 2 is
This was-
coming out soon. Go see it in theaters November something.
This was a movie came out in 2010. One of the main characters is played by Iceman from X2.
Of course.
And
It's a snow movie.
It is.
the whole thing is based on being stuck on a ski lift.
Yeah.
Is this in
And-
the Snow Dogs Arctic Dogs cinematic universe?
I wish. But going into it, knowing it was just all going to be just them stuck on a ski lift, I wasn't expecting much. And we've been watching horror movies for like 40 days now, like every night. And this is the one that like really fucking got to me. Like it's absolutely.
Is it more
terrifying.
psychological?
Do you like to ski?
Because
Say what?
Do you ski?
Do I ski? No, I have never
And
skied.
you'll never ski again.
Exactly. But
can I play the
yeah,
piano anymore?
it's there's definitely a lot of psychological stuff to it, and it's like they have these like really like terrifying moments, and then they pull back and they do these really like small intimate character moments, and it's you really end up feeling for these people and the pain that they're going through, and it makes it that much fucking harder to watch. So my main I would say watch the Evil Dead movies, watch the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, watch most of the Chucky movies, Leslie Vernon, the Hatchet movies, Frozen, and Friday the 13th and Halloween are a mixed bag. I'm sorry, this doesn't really narrow down the list.
So what? So you're saying Evil Dead is the ones that you would definitely start with?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are good.
Short list. Let me just do 5. First
Okay.
Nightmare movie, first Friday movie, Leslie Vernon, Frozen, and
Evil Dead.
you know what? No, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Oh wait,
Now-
no, shit, did I not say any of the
No,
Evil Deads?
you did.
Evil
No, you
Dead
did.
2.
That was one of them. Yeah.
Evil
But
Dead 2 is one of them. I don't know.
The first Friday the 13th does not have Jason in it.
It doesn't.
Correct? So
It doesn't.
then, if I guess, what's the best or first? What's the best Jason inclusive Friday the 13th movie that you would suggest?
I love Jason Goes to Hell. It ties in the Evil Dead mythos a little bit.
Right.
But most people dislike that one.
So Jason X is what you're saying.
No, I think most people go for Friday the 13th 4, the final chapter.
Okay. Let's move on to the more questions. The rest that I had were all definitely on this list, so we can just go down the thing. I'm pretty sure this first one that you have on here, the Where the Hell's Nightwing during Batman Beyond, I'm pretty sure we did that last time. So screw that. Unless we didn't do it, and I'm really sorry if we didn't.
I don't know. They had said, "Did you not get my first question?"
Oh
And
yeah, okay.
I don't remember. Like I don't know if there was something
That's
further up than this or not.
possible.
But they did want us to shout out the Moon Knight Core Facebook page, who
Right,
were the people
yeah,
that
okay.
created the
Moon Knight memes
"Where's
that
my
we
fucking
discussed,
money,
yeah.
Dracula, you nerd?"
Yeah, like 2
Moon
episodes
Knight
ago,
meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we went over this question, but like I don't know.
I think
I
his
think
money
we-
is in the dark multiverse. Isn't that what we said?
What?
That's where the vampires come from. No.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
The question was, why do you think Batman Beyond didn't explain where the hell Nightwing was despite the bat embargo?
I
I'm
thought
pretty sure
Dracula
we
was
did
trying to get money from Moon Knight. All right.
No, so I mean that the answer to that question was Bruce Timm specifically said he just wasn't
Yeah.
interested in it.
Yeah.
I hope that's the question that we
It's
missed.
Bloodhaven.
That way we're not missing it on the last podcast
Oh well.
for now. But we also gave time for resubmissions on questions, so
Yeah.
I don't know. The Superior HDMI cable asks, Do you agree that Lego Batman is the best incarnation of Batman of all time?
No, but he's up there.
He is up
DCAU
there.
It also
version's
depends on
the
which one, 'cause
best
aren't- yeah.
one. The DCAU.
There's two. Yeah, there's two Lego Batmans also.
True.
I feel like
You're right.
I feel like I had made a joke about this recently in a Vanishing Point,
Yeah.
and I said Return of the Joker was the best Batman movie, so sorry.
I love Will Arnett, though. He's a great voice actor.
No,
I'm a man of my word.
It's a good one. Dentoon's comic. Do we need an Arctic Dogs 2?
Yes. Balto 2 got Balto 2.
Yeah,
that was the
Balto
thing.
got it too.
I don't think we do. I
think they wrapped up the the canon.
I
of Arctic
feel
Dogs.
honestly.
What about
I
a
feel
walrus movie?
I feel like Arctic Dogs is a really good
Spin-offs.
standalone film, and I wouldn't want to see them just retread the characters
Do you
and
think
not
we'll
have as strong
get
of a
an
message.
Arctic Dogs 2 even if we don't want one? Like, do you think
No.
it did well enough at all?
No, this movie was like a $30 million movie or something, and it only made $3 million on opening weekend.
What about Cool Runnings?
So
These are all connected.
y'all are just still trying to meme because you guys haven't seen the beauty that is Arctic Dogs. But
Yeah,
I swear,
that's
it's
correct.
I'm going to buy it like as soon as it hits Blu-ray.
Put it on Vudu. We'll watch it. Yeah.
I'll watch it.
I will.
Okay, Rob, how likely is it that Poison Ivy's still alive by the time Batman Beyond rolls around?
Very.
We are going to do the video on Poison Ivy. I know it's taken like over a year, but it's going to happen relatively soon. It's on the schedule. It's part of the storyline.
Poison Ivy, alive or dead.
If Poison Ivy's more plant than person, trees can live to be thousands of years.
Yeah, man.
So
She keeps rolling.
you know
Yeah,
what
I
she
think-
said
I
at the
think
end of
she's
her first appearance?
Huh?
Come back. We always come back. Don't we, baby? As she's petting her
That's
little plant
true.
there in the pot. She comes back.
Rubber lips are immune to your charm. So, yeah, probably.
Jake Johnson
yeah.
asks another question. Do you
Yep.
think that Shebang has any ties to the Ultimen? I really like that question because it reminds me of what I keep saying. There were so many like ways that Static
Cadmus
Shock could have
and
been
Static, yeah.
weaved into the Cadmus conspiracy.
Hoop Squad.
And it just didn't happen. Hoop Squad, just Edwin Alva in general
Yeah.
should have been on the board.
Yeah.
Like he already had government connections, even if it was with just a small town. Like there's so much interesting stuff that could have been done. They could have brought in like the Bang Baby cure to like see if that would
Right.
take away
Any of the
superpowers.
Justice Leagues, yeah. Yeah, no,
Could be cool.
She Bang's origin has to do with like her scientist parents and stuff, so that definitely could have had connections if they wanted to. It would be a cool. There's stuff like that we try to tie in with Legacies, so we'll see if we have enough room and stuff like that.
I don't even remember Shebang's origin. And
you have
I'm
to watch
supposed
it
to be
again,
the
yeah.
writer of.
Yeah. Jeez.
Gotta watch it again.
Dentoon's again favorite Jack Kirby creation.
I don't.
Galactus.
What all did he create?
I got-
I really like Etrigan.
I love Etrigan too, but my favorite's the Kirby dot.
Yeah, the Crackle.
Crackle.
That's my favorite
Kirby
Kirby
Crackle.
creation. Yeah.
Yeah.
What all
He's
did he create? Because I know
Silver
Stan Lee
Surfer,
stole all the time.
Fantastic Four,
Doctor Doom,
Hulk,
yeah, Galactus.
all
Thor,
the Fourth
Iron Man,
World,
Commander.
Mr. Miracle.
Yeah, all the
Dark
Fourth World
Oh,
stuff.
he created Magneto. If he
Yeah,
created Magneto,
all the
I might
X
have to
Men.
go with.
All the X Men.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! I need to get more. into
Thor.
Kirby, man.
Well, he didn't create Thor, but he created Marvel Thor. Captain America.
Hey, if one of you guys wants to get me like a Kirby omnibus for like Christmas or something, I'll try to.
Which
keep it.
one? Because there's so many.
I don't know, man.
Which Etrigan? Because I
don't
already
know.
have one. I could regift it easily.
Den
I
says,
have
I
so
got,
many comics. I have so many comics that I need to read.
Den says, I got a better question. What was your favorite experience in doing, or what has been your favorite experience? I read that in past tense for a second in doing Watchtower Database. It was like, hey man, the channel's not ending. But yeah, what's been my favorite experience in doing Watchtower Database?
Hold on. Let me sing a song like while you're thinking.
Okay.
As we go on, we remember. You're supposed to be giving your
I don't.
speech.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
you
is the
said while I'm
graduation
thinking
song.
about
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks
you
for
see-
the diploma.
Together.
My favorite experience has been trying to talk over Mattie playing the ukulele. I don't know, man. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of
mine-
stressful
podcast
stuff.
started,
But...
and now I'm not high.
Mine's probably the Legacies pre-birth release was really, really cool.
That was cool,
But
yeah.
also creating...
Was that the one Rick did the cover
Rick
for?
Sellis
Yeah,
did the
that was
cover.
really fun.
That was just a really fun release. James, my favorite one to do with you on art was probably issue number 4, the culmination of the Destroyed arc.
Yeah,
because there was some really awesome scenes in there.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite part was? My favorite part was Emerald City Comic Con this year.
Yeah,
that was cool. Yeah.
Where
We all
I
breathe
got
the
to
same
hang
air.
out with all of my friends.
that's right. And maybe next year we'll do it at San Diego or WonderCon. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Send those good vibes.
I had already
Thoughts
met
and
both
prayers.
of you by that. I'd already met both of you by that time, but you two hadn't met each other in person.
Correct.
That was
Yeah.
crazy.
It was nice. It was nice finally having everyone in one room and just getting to talk
Yeah.
about ideas for the channel, getting to talk about
Yeah.
ideas for Legacies.
Meeting
starting to
Ted
kind of-
is definitely up there. Touching Ted's body, you know.
I love
Been
touching
wanting
my
to do that
body.
for a while. Yeah, I know.
That's why I said I beat it with you on the Vireality teaser.
I also
You'll
I
beat
also
him. You'll
really-
beat me.
I also really enjoyed when we went to Elmo, Washington, and we were laughing about something.
Elmo?
And this lady,
Elmo?
this
Like
lady,
Sesame
on the,
Elmo?
Elma.
Oh,
Elmo. And
Elmo.
this
It's
lady
the girl
on the side
Elmo.
of the road was just yelling at us for
yeah.
laughing at something, telling us it's not funny.
It was.
That was the highlight of the experience. I don't know. There's a lot of good videos that have been really
Yellow
fun to do.
Batsuit.
But yeah, I think besides the videos themselves, yeah, the times that we've gotten to be together and hash out things and just be like friends that's been pretty cool.
I'm
yeah.
crying over
Byproduct says, if you guys could be in any Lantern Corps, what would you choose? And to make it harder, no one can choose green.
Oh man, what are the different ones? What are the other ones?
I'll be a Star Sapphire because then I get to wear cool booby outfits. Where you can see my belly button and my cleavage, but nothing else.
I
That'd look
think
really good.
I would be orange because I would have all the power.
Hold on. What are the different cores?
Maddie can be
Roy G.
red
Biv.
for rage.
It's a rainbow. Roy G. Biv, Mattie.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but what do they represent?
And then there's black and white, and ultraviolet is one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just want to know what they represent. And that way I can. be
Red,
like-
red is hate. Yellow is fear. Orange is greed. Green is will.
Envy. No, green should be envy,
It's will.
but it's not.
Well, orange is envy. Green
Yeah.
is will. Blue is hope. Indigo is compassion, and star sapphires are love. And then black is death. White is life.
I feel like I've fallen in either the blue or the indigo.
Yeah.
Personally.
Well, indigos are evil people who've been like basically enslaved and are their minds are basically
sounds about right.
zombified. So yeah, you're an indigo for sure.
He's been enslaved by the Watchtower Database.
That's right.
the
Maddie's an
color of-
indigo.
Wait, you're saying that compassionate people are evil?
It's
Sure.
compassion to make the evil people your zombie slaves.
I don't know.
Of course.
Man. That sounds,
It's, it's
that sounds-
complicated. It's a little complicated.
That sounds rough. I'm just gonna go with a blue because I hope Bernie Sanders wins this one.
Amen.
Maxi Sona, what's up? How are you all? I'm doing pretty okay.
Doing great. Like I said a little bit ago, I was high at the start of this recording, and now I'm not.
Like that means you're doing great.
I'm
now that you're not.
all warm and fuzzy after we all just were like we love each
Yeah.
other.
It's getting
Yeah, that
good.
was-
Yeah, we're
that
getting
was a nice
sentimental
moment.
toward the last 20 minutes or so of the podcast. Serious. If you're still looking for questions at Arctic Dogs Movie.
I
what
changed my
about-
name on Discord.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. What about some series you guys would want to see on HBO Max? I don't know. Stuff. It's like news series or a series that already exists that could be on there too.
You
Maybe
know what?
both.
You know what? Okay, hold on. I've got one.
Okay, Arctic
Because-
Dogs, the animated series.
Max,
No,
Max the animated series from Batman Beyond.
No, so
Oh, yeah.
DC
HBO
is
Max.
doing.
Go ahead, man.
Max from Where the Love Things Are.
See, he knew you were going to keep talking.
I know I got one more Max in there. I just don't know.
From the Goofy movie.
Yeah,
Anyway.
there you go.
Anyway,
Now you're talking.
DC's doing all these weird off the wall kind of shows like they did Doom Patrol. They're doing that Bizarro TV.
Maxwell
They're doing
Lord,
strange-
spinoff from Wonder Woman 84.
Boy, if you don't... I've just forgotten what I was... No, I know.
I thought you were high at the start of the podcast.
No, I remember. So like they're doing all these off the wall TV shows. You know, they've got the Bizarro TV, they've got Doom Patrol, they've got Strange Adventures coming up, the DC Superhero High, just stuff that's like out of the usual for DC. So I feel like it would be a lot of fun to do
Funky Flashman.
I will fucking kill you, Ted.
I'm just having all the good ideas over here.
Hey, we're friends. We love each other. Keep it going.
What was that thing?
Anyway, it would be a lot of fun for them to get to do like a henchman bar series.
Ooh, that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
I like that. With Kite
I-
Man
and just have an episode halfway through season 1 where Batman, Nightwing, and Harley Quinn burst in, and it's just the exact scene out of that movie. So we have to like fold in the continuity.
What if it's like a henchman like consultant firm where like people like Joker go in and are like, hey, I need like 5 guys.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we got this guy who's like finishing up a job with the Penguin, but he'll be available in like an hour.
Yeah,
like,
they have a schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun too. But like the way I was just thinking about like what would be a fun way to get like a Farmer Brown series.
Yes, there you go.
And that made the most sense to me. You could even bring in like in the comics like not Elmer Fudd, Porky Pig is
Elmo Washington.
like runs the dive bar in Gotham City.
That's right.
That like the
In the
folks
Bugs Bunny
hang out at.
issue. Elmer
So
Fudd
you
issue.
could kind of roll that in and make it just his place instead of the DCAU henchman bar, and just kind of have people show up, do their almost Gotham stories, or just chat with each other. It doesn't even have to involve Batman.
I want to see what the deal is with those Catwoman henchmen that from the '60s show that were in there, but they were never on the animated series.
And they didn't show up
until
in
now.
the tie-in either.
Yeah. Dentunes, again, do you believe I might take over as number 1 on the Discord leaderboard?
I think it's
Hell
possible.
no. Get out.
It's possible. So like
be
back
me.
when
It'll be
we
Ted,
started
yeah.
the Discord, I feel like James and I both felt like we needed to be in there every day to monitor everything.
Yeah.
And
Same.
like now that we've kind of had it going for a while and we understand what our community is like, and we have other people on mod team like Jay and Mark and Adam, we don't feel the need to necessarily be in there all the time,
Yeah.
especially since that takes away from time we could be spending like writing scripts or
Anything else.
Anything else.
Yeah, and it's like we love being in there. We love talking
Yeah.
to you guys.
Yeah.
But like it's now we're kind of trying to be better with managing our time.
I need to get better about going into
And so-
Discord at all. I'm so sorry. I am a bit of a foreign entity in there.
And so Den has finally started. I think Den has.
He's
taken
creeping
me
up on
over.
you and Mark, I think, are the top
Yeah, I
two
think
now?
Mark. I think it's Mark is
Yeah.
number 1 and Den is number 2 and I'm number 3.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's,
yeah. So separate from, related to this, the Discord server, you can find it at the link in the description of this or surrounding this somewhere. Watchtower
drop-
Database Discord. It's
we
really
drop behind the scenes stuff in there like all the time. So
Yeah, we
if
talk
you want
about
to know
what we're
about
working
what's
on.
going to
or-
happen before it hits the channel,
Yeah.
that's the place to find it out. That or our
And it's
Twitters.
just a lot of fun to interact with other people that are fans of the channel because
I've been,
we're all big old family.
Yeah, I've actually like started playing Friday the 13th online with
Den.
Dan. Yeah, because of the Discord server, and it's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun.
Nice.
G Smooth X. Does the Batman Who Laughs remind us of Joker Jr.? I think this is the Tim Drake Joker, I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah. Does it remind us of Joker Jr.? And by he worded it us.
The
so I
collective
assume,
us.
I think it reminds
assume-
him.
I assume he means the collective G Smooth X. We have to answer
Yeah.
if it reminds
We
them.
the G
It's a
Smooth
little
X.
reminiscent. It's a little reminiscent.
Have a sort of
G
similar
Smooth
origin.
X, if it reminds you of Joker Jr., you would know better than I would.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
kind of reminiscent. I could see it.
the Batman Who Laughs became who he is because the Joker had, like, he killed the Joker and the Joker had, like, a toxin in him that released as he died.
Right.
That turned him into a Batman-Joker hybrid. It's sort of similar, I guess, with it being a Robin-Joker hybrid, I guess, but he's a lot more, like, out of his own control. Like, he's very deep in the Joker whole, you know, like he's been tortured and he's not in control of his body really. Like he can barely not shoot Batman. So I think there's a lot of similarities, but there's not enough for it to be like the same character by any means. Yeah.
I agree with
That's
that.
all we have to say, I guess.
Then Joker or Batman Who Laughs have the little his little Robin eyes.
Yeah,
Joker
that's true.
people.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
yeah, those are similar. This is our final question now, I guess, for the final Everyone's Trash for the final 12th Level Intellects episode in this form. This is from G1 Super Luigi. Are there
On
any parts?
Twitter.com.
Yeah. Are there any parts of the DCAU that you didn't really see until way later? None of my channels carried Superman the Animated Series, so I only ever saw World's Finest as the Batman Superman movie until the DVDs. That's actually exactly my case. I didn't see
Really?
any of Superman until Justice League was already airing.
Oh wow.
Like they did for the premiere of Twilight, they did a Toonami special where they played the Legacy things back to back, and then Twilight debuted right after that. That was the first time I saw Legacy. I didn't see any of that stuff.
So
Yeah,
I
saw Batman Superman movie on VHS.
I saw it on Kids WB and Cartoon Network as they were aired on TV. But my one episode I remember watching on DVDs, I've been like, I don't remember ever watching that in my life. It was Time Out of Joint, the Clock King. The
Yeah,
second
that's
Clock
such
King
a
episode.
weird. That I bet
Remember
that
one
didn't
shot
rerun a
where
lot.
they're on the
Yeah.
motorcycles and
Yeah.
we're trying to figure out
Yeah.
where the hell that
Yeah,
episode
like
was
what
from?
is this? Yeah.
That was one that I definitely didn't watch until the DVDs came
Yeah.
out.
So I was super late getting to Justice League Unlimited, because it was just like a situation of after my parents split, my dad wasn't really around, and it was my grandma was kind of raising us, and she didn't want us watching too much TV while Dad was at work and doing everything, and because she didn't want to be responsible for any of that. And that's around the time that Justice League Unlimited started airing, and like I was getting older at that time anyway, and I was just like, okay, whatever, cartoons are for kids. So I didn't.
And you'd
I
also
didn't-
expressed before that you thought Justice League Unlimited wasn't as good as Justice League because it was too
yeah,
many
it felt
characters or
like
whatever.
to me, I was just like, they're running out of ideas. They're just adding
Right.
like all these new people, blah 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 blah. So I was just like, okay, fuck it. Like
I get that kind of vibe from maybe the first 3 or 4 episodes, but then it starts to turn into a real plot
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of- so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then of course Zeta Project. I didn't
Right.
even know was
Yeah,
a
that's-
thing
that's a good
until,
example.
When
like,
did you
it was
fall in love with
2012.
Zeta Project, Matty?
When did I fall in love with it? Around 2012, 2013. That was when I had moved back in with my mom, and
Started doing your timeline stuff.
yeah, was going through the whole DCAU and everything, and it's not so much the entirety of the show as it is like the story that we get in the episodes that actually carry story. I really want a conclusion to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of the shows that gives us the most like blatant timeline clues of
That's
just
true.
like it's this year and it happened this long ago.
Well,
That
Matty,
kind
yeah.
of a
I
thing.
would love to see a Black Label book by you
Yeah.
on Zeta
You
Project.
cowards.
I will write a Black Label Zeta book. I will write a Capstone Children's Zeta book. I'll
Yeah.
write Zeta with the fox. I will write Zeta with my socks, but not in bed.
All of them.
Bringing it back around. That was
Nice.
me. That was me rewinding through the Everyone's Trash so that we could get back up to our last
I
topic.
like it.
Yes, sir.
What do we do from
not
here?
going to spend a lot of time on this, but I might as well talk about what we'd like to do, and because that is the kind of hopeful continuation of this show. And if in just kind of apologies in advance, I guess if for some reason something happens where this doesn't happen. But what we would like to do is do more of a like purposeful show with 12th Level Intellects. So it's more like a physical set where we do like actual video live stream as it's happening with multiple cameras and an actual physical setup where Mattie and I are there and Ted is on a little Arnim Zola screen just in the middle of us or something. Kind of akin to anyone that's familiar with the H3H3 podcast or like Joe Rogan kind of set, like things like that where we're there in person with each other talking about a specific topic, and we kind of have segments of the show that are dedicated to specific things. We kind of started out the podcast doing sort of that, and it got a lot more, I wouldn't say lazy, but kind of more
Loose.
just like fluid with how we are setting everything up. Like we still do everyone's trash, we do comic relief, that kind of a thing, but it's not as structured as it could be, but it's still fun no matter what.
Each other.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think that's going to change. It'll stay whatever it is.
I think it'll be easier to control when at least two of us are in the same room.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, and along with that would come stuff like reviewing maybe episodes of the DCAU, reviewing movies that are coming out in a more organized way than we do. And just kind of grabbing a better audience, and we're talking about having it be...
Not that this audience isn't good. We're
right.
just a bigger
audience. That is the better word for it, yes.
In-studio audience?
Ooh, that could be kind of like a Good Mythical Morning situation.
Maybe
eventually.
Just Sissy and Jessica are sitting off to the
Yeah, just going, get on with it. Yeah, they're not laughing at all because we're not funny to them. But anyway, but yeah, we're talking about it being kind of a halfway Patreon exclusive show, in that the live broadcast of the show would be for the patrons. It would probably be at a very low level, so that it wouldn't be like oh my god, like I have to pay blah 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 to see the people that do listen to us right now currently are, I would say, like the top Watchtower Database fans, because if you're interested enough to listen to us just bullshit
3 hours
for
of us just
almost
going on.
3 hours at this point. What?
Oh, I was saying the same thing you just said.
Yeah, this 3 hours, yeah, and talking over each other. Then you're probably you're a database to the max. So it would be that most likely, and then we would be clipping out.
Yeah, we're
also
not taking away the podcast from anyone, at least in its entirety. We do. So YouTube punishes long form content on a platform that doesn't get as much engagement as other content that you're putting out, and we've been noticing that like our videos have been starting to sync as the 12th Level Intellects syncs. Yeah. So if 12th Level Intellects is not good for a couple weeks, then, our other stuff kind of gets dragged down with it. So we will be taking what we think are the most interesting clips and throwing them onto the YouTube channel sectioned out, rather than being a whole, hour-long situation. You'll end up with extra videos of... like we'll have out a news video one week, and then an everyone's trash video the next week, and then a comic relief video the week after that. And I'm hoping that this will actually expand the podcast audience, because, looking and seeing 3 hour runtime on something can be daunting. But if you see if you see like 5 or 6 different videos that are just 10-minute segments, it's just like, oh yeah, okay, I know these guys, I like these guys. Let me give that a watch. And it gives you time in between to kind of.
And we experimented with that a little bit with the podcast in its current form, where I would clip out chunks, but I've only done that 2 or 3 times, and that's mostly because when I do it that way, I feel like it needs to actually have visuals for it. And so by us having live visuals with the podcast as just part of the podcast, I don't need to really edit anything. I just kind of slap on an end screen and put it on YouTube, and you get to enjoy what we did as it happened. So
if you're here at this point, we know you're already going to enjoy it. But we're explaining to you that we just gotta... We got to feed the beast and build the audience.
And it'll be a platform where, if 4 people watch it, it's not going to kill us. It's not going to make the channel dive. But it's
I'll tell you what. because we don't know 100% if this is going to be like if the full thing will just be Patreon exclusive,
Right.
or if maybe we'll still have the audio podcast available in other formats.
Right.
But I feel like maybe if you're still listening this far into the podcast and you don't have the means to become a Patreon supporter, whenever this, or even now, instead of whenever this starts the revamp, shoot an email over to info@watchtowerdatabase.com and just say, hey, I would still like to be able to listen to the podcast. If you guys do end up putting it behind a Patreon only, and we'll try to keep you straight out,
Sure.
and give you access to it. And
Yeah, we definitely
I
aren't trying to take away anything from anybody. It's just more of a platform that will keep us on the good side of the algorithm, I guess, and allow us to actually expand the show and do more with it than we can on this platform. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe we should take it to Twitch. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We don't know anything about Twitch. Is the situation there? So.
Yeah.
It's been a good run.
Well, it's 2 years. It's 1 a.m. for Ted, so we should probably close this out.
But I've really enjoyed being on this show for 2 years and doing 12 Level Intellects with you, James and
I'm
Mattie.
glad Mattie got to be an official 12th level intellect for 3 episodes.
We had a casual induction.
Well,
Guest for a while.
It's not over till it's over, and it's not over. This isn't so long. This is see you again soon.
Exactly.
It's not the end. It's a new beginning.
The adventure continues.
With that said,
man, I was going to say that.
I said it first.
Yeah, play us out, Mattie. Oh, wait. Yeah, play us a jingle while I read the ending segments, and then you can sing us the Patreon names.
Old
The 12th Level Intellects
McMattie
podcast.
had a
Hey,
ukulele.
shut up, Ted. No one wants to hear you anymore. They only want to hear me.
They want to see me on a little TV screen.
Just give us some bad chords. Here we go. The 12th Level Intellects podcast is hosted by the Watchtower Database. Visit watchtowerdatabase.com for more podcast episodes, videos, comics, artwork, and pretty much anything DCAU you can think of. Thank you for listening, everybody. The podcast is not out every other Monday because it's kind of over-ish. This is on iTunes and YouTube and watchtowerdatabase.com. So share it with your friends. Social media is at DCAU Watchtower, or you can info at watchtowerdatabase.com. You can figure that out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on all the upcoming videos. We've got lots of cool stuff coming up that I'm really excited for everybody to see. Discord server below, patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower, Loot Crate affiliate code, merch at teespring.com/stores/DCAU Watchtower. Thank you everyone for joining us for 52 frickin' episodes, and we'll see you on the other side. And Mattie's gonna sing names of humans now.
Let me tell you about this guy that I know. His name's Dark Poet 1792. His name's above Richard Mon 1-2. Robert Sterling and Trey Glenn are there too. Oh, but Eric Kenneth Olsen,
That's Ulrich.
he'll be rolling on. Baby and Tyler J. Harrow to the great beyond.
This is terrible.
Are you drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade?
Jackie
Yeah.
Feist, Black Ops Bear, and Tom Carroll met up with Trent M. Merrick and CJ Tatman at the West Isle Defense Force. Sabrina Randy Gomez, Pak Ho Chan.
Oh my god, you're only like a third through the list.
In the
Go faster,
great
man.
beyond. Believer God, Effie Liz, Ben Lewis, Ian A. Watson, Evan, Dylan Stout, Maxie Sona, Ricky, Aussie Dragoon, The Side Quest Gamer, Derek Boswell, Zach Coffey, Micah Dugan, Jeremy Johnson, Eric Paulson, Sam Rodriguez, Michael Colson, Angela Werner, Sourcewall Media, Lau Locust Jr., Nadim Nakim, Mitchell Rainey, Justin Cristelli, Stephen Berger, DM, Bloody, T. Hamill, Manny Flurman, Jimmy Shuckles, Ryan McDowell, Rev Dark Docs.
Bloody T. Hamburger.
Dark Knight Nittany, Hector D. Miranda, and Casey Crane.
Crane. Especially
Rolling down the train.
to the great beyond.
Bring it in, guys.
Have a lovely
They'll
rest
keep
of your
on
life,
trucking.
We'll
We'll see you
and
on
beyond.
episode
To
1
the
of the new
great
52.
beyond.
50 years from now, whenever now is.
Hell yeah. But more likely, like, first quarter of 2020.
We did it.
It's a near apocalypse
holding-
2019.
Hold on. I'm holding the banjo like Wonder Woman's holding her sword. You can't see the banjo and you can't see her sword, but here's her
Correct.
sword.
Nice.
Oh my god, that's
Now
so
you
perfect.
can't see the banjo.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you. Mwah. Kiss your dads for me.
Kiss your father.
Hi, fathers.
Before I do it for you. Kiss your daddies. And your mamas too.
I'm hitting stop now.